Chapter 455. He directly ignored my scarlet demon moon eye. Could his soul and eye power have reached the level of being able to contain the ocean? Lin Tong's body froze in midair as shock spread across his face. Zhao Feng didn't even defend against the eye bloodline attack, just then and ignored it. Simply put, Lin Tong's eye bloodline wasn't enough to break through Zhao Feng's mental energy defense. At the same time, the other two true mystic ranks led their respective groups and charged toward Zhao Feng. According to the plan, Lin Tong was responsible for restraining Zhao Feng's eye bloodline while the other two true mystic ranks attacked. Blade of wind and lightning. Zhao Feng lightly exclaimed as a blade of wind condensed in his palm. He used a unique method to control the heaven-earth wind, lightning yuan qi. Not good, retreat. The expression of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord changed dramatically. It was clear that with his insight, he could naturally see how powerful Zhao Feng's every move was, and the intent of his battle skills was extraordinary. However, his warning was a bit too late. It could be said that Zhao Feng's attack speed had reached a level where even his warning couldn't be avoided. Wang, the wind blade, which was surrounded by lightning, split into two. After breaking through the air, it suddenly blossomed with a dazzling and sharp lightning. It reached a length of 70 to 80 feet and did not dissipate. In that instant, the sharp howl of the wind pierced into the soul. Bam! Bam! Before the two true mystic ranks could react, their heads and blood splattered everywhere. The entire process happened in just a few breaths. Lin Tong's attack had just been completed and was ignored by Zhao Feng. Immediately following that, Zhao Feng's casual attack killed the two true mystic rank leaders. This scene caused Lin Tong and the other elites of the Iron Dragon Alliance to take in a cold breath. Lin Tong couldn't help but hiccup. Not only had Zhao Feng's eye bloodline reached a level that he couldn't see through, his skills were also terrifying. The two true mystic ranks just now were both core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance and were ranked within the top 15. If it were Lin Tong, without using his eye bloodline techniques, he would at most be able to fight to a draw with one of them. However, these two powerhouses were killed by Zhao Feng as easily as slicing carrots. Haha, loser. Hurry up and die. Zhao Feng stood with his hands clasped behind his back, looking ahead. A loser. Lin Tong's heart trembled. He felt as if he had fallen into a bottomless abyss. Humiliation and defeat enveloped his heart. Lin Tong gritted his teeth and raised his head, preparing to fight to the death one last time. However, the moment he raised his head, he was slightly stunned, because the blue-haired figure on the mountain peak hadn't even glanced at him, including this moment. Junior, don't be so arrogant. In the past, when Japan had just recovered, you took advantage of it. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's hateful voice came from behind. As soon as these words came out, both sides were stunned. Well, what's going on? Many people were slightly taken aback. Lin Tong's hands trembled. His humiliation was mixed with embarrassment and shock. A loser. It turned out that Zhao Feng's words were targeted at the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. As for Lin Tong, he was ignored from the beginning. The opponent that Zhao Feng had locked onto was the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. It was hard to imagine that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, one of the giants of the Alliance, was someone that Zhao Feng had once defeated. Therefore, this was why Zhao Feng had such a mocking smile. So that's how it is. Zhao Feng, it looks like I've still underestimated you. Elder Su, who had retreated a distance away, didn't leave immediately. Instead, he wanted to take care of Zhao Feng. However, he found that he was just being paranoid. Only now did Elder Su understand what Zhao Feng meant by playing around. Junior, let me see how much you've improved in 2 years. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord turned into a streak of purple and blood-colored light and charged toward Zhao Feng. Whoosh! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's speed was as fast as lightning. Many people present were unable to see his trajectory. In just a few blinks of an eye, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord arrived in front of Zhao Feng. A heavy aura pressed down on Zhao Feng like an invisible mountain. So this Blood Corpse Division Protector is the same as Mo Gon of the Black Cliff Palace. They both cultivate the Corpse Tao. However, This Blood Corpse Palace Lord has merged with the Tao of Blood. Zhao Feng could see everything with his left eye. In terms of strength, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord and Mo. Gon shouldn't be much different, but the former was obviously more cunning. Crack! The mountain peak, which was close to 100 zhang tall, exploded with a loud rumble, causing billowing dust and smoke to rise. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's terrifying palms split apart the mountain, and the power was extremely concentrated. Otherwise, the mountain would have collapsed. Boom! A bolt of lightning whistled through the air above Zhao Feng's head. Zhao Feng's figure turned into lightning and pierced through a radius of 1 to 2 miles. Arg! Arg! Blood-curdling screams came from the vicinity of the blood-colored ship. Every time the wind-piercing and lightning rumbling in the void moved, it would reap 1 or 2 lives, accompanied by blood sputtering. Bastard! Hand over your life. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord was enraged as he turned into a streak of purple and blood-colored light and chased after Zhao Feng. However, he had no advantage over Zhao Feng in terms of speed. Zhao Feng's figure flashed through the air as he comprehended the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet in his mind. The Wind Lightning Stone Tablet was the inheritance of the Wind Lightning Emperor. It was said to be the fastest emperor's inheritance. Zhao Feng's mental energy level was only higher than the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's. Although his cultivation hadn't broken through to the true Lord rank yet, his ability to summon Heaven-Earth Yuan Qi wasn't far off. Suddenly, Zhao Feng's speed had reached a peak, and he completely ignored the Blood Corpse Palace Lord as he slaughtered the elites of the Iron Dragon Alliance. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord was enraged and almost lost his mind. He could only watch as Zhao Feng killed his subordinates one by one. What made him feel helpless was that Zhao Feng's speed was always a bit faster than his, and he seemed to be able to move with ease. Zhao Feng's speed easily surpassed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's, and with the god's spiritual eye's control, even 1 or 2 more Blood Corpse Palace Lords wouldn't be able to stop him. In the next instant, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's subordinates were almost all dead. Apart from Lin Tong, all the upper echelon members of the true spirit realm had been slaughtered. When Zhao Feng killed his targets, there was no emotion in his eyes at all. It was as if he was facing a skeleton. What made the Blood Corpse Palace Lord even angrier was that when Zhao Feng killed his subordinates, he would occasionally close his eyes as if he was comprehending something. Preposterous! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's lungs were about to explode from anger. It seemed that Zhao Feng was using his subordinates to train his skills. In just a short span of 20 breaths, Zhao Feng's control of the power of wind lightning had improved significantly. In his head, the surface of the tattered wind thunder steel was surrounded by even more colorful electric patterns. The meaning of the patterns was deduced and connected to a desolate, broken wind thunder world. Zhao Feng could only comprehend the tip of the iceberg at this point. Shua! At a certain moment, Zhao Feng found that apart from the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, there was no one else. Only Lin Tong's trembling figure was hidden in the cracks of the cliff. Lin Tong understood that Zhao Feng must have done this on purpose, or else he wouldn't have been left alive. Blood Corpse Palace Lord, your subordinates are all dead. A playful smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression was grim, and the hatred and killing intent in his eyes seemed to materialize. However, he didn't lose his mind. After a short moment of rage, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord calmed down. He had investigated Zhao Feng's eye bloodline and knew that it was hard to defend against it. Zhao Feng specialized in mental energy illusions and mental energy attacks. At this moment in time, the Dragon-Killing Alliance had retreated. As the dust settled, only Zhao Feng and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord were left facing each other. After staring at each other for a while, the two suddenly attacked. Bam! Shwa! A purple and blood-colored light and a ball of lightning clashed in the air. Bam! 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 The clash between the two was extremely concentrated, and the shockwave didn't exceed 20 yards. In just a few flashes, the two figures separated. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes were filled with hatred as scorch marks were left on his body. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's physical strength is really strong. It's on the same level as Mo Gon from the Black Cliff Palace. Attacks from true Lord ranks can't do anything to him. Zhao Feng murmured in his heart. In the clash of the two, Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed. However, in terms of pure strength, Zhao Feng didn't have the advantage at all. All in all, he still had the initiative, and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord could only take a beating. Without using the God Spiritual Eye, it looks like I'll have to break through to the True Lord rank to increase my battle power. Zhao Feng's heart was clear. So, after a slight pause, Zhao Feng's figure disappeared once more. Wind howled and thunder howled in the air. Zhao Feng's control over the power of wind lightning was becoming more and more adept, and his speed and power were both increasing. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord howled. His powerful secret techniques were easily countered by Zhao Feng's God's Spiritual Eye. Speed was the only thing that couldn't be countered. Once Zhao Feng had the advantage in speed and the control of the God's Spiritual Eye, he was basically undefeatable. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's defense was extremely strong. If it was a normal True Lord rank, Zhao Feng would have killed him already. If it wasn't for the fact that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord cultivated the Tao of Blood, Zhao Feng would have been able to instantly kill him with his dark silver ghost corpse. Lightning Fire God's Eye. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned azure, and with a half-transparent flame of wind and lightning landed on the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. The current Lightning Fire God's Eye, in its azure state, formed the flames of wind and lightning, making its attacks even more violent. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord screamed as lightning and fire wreaked havoc around his body. The attack pierced through both the physical and mental energy dimensions. What a terrifying, offensive eye bloodline technique. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline can withstand it. Lin Tong, who was in the mountain crack, had a shocking expression on his face when he saw this peerlessly powerful eye flame attack. He who cultivated eye bloodline techniques naturally knew that the more powerful an eye bloodline technique was, the more it required the eye bloodline to be able to withstand it. Furthermore, what Zhao Feng used wasn't just a simple eye bloodline, but a lightning fire god's eye. Lightning and fire countered the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's Tao of Blood Corpse. Seeing the lightning fire god's eye forced the Blood Corpse Palace Lord into a life-and-death situation. Even Zhao Feng was surprised. Chapter 456. In the air. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's blood Tao refined corpse body was covered in a half-transparent lightning, fire, and wind. Lightning and fire crackled and crackled, leaving behind scorch marks. The powerful wind, lightning, eye flame pierced straight into his soul. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's screams made Lin Tong's heart jump. He couldn't believe that one of the four pillars of the Alliance, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, an old monster from the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, would be forced to such a state by a new star's eye flame. Zhao Feng was surprised by the change in the lightning fire god's eye. After thinking for a while, he understood the reason. The wind lightning stone tablet he had comprehended had merged into his source of true spirit through his root of law. This meant that the flame of true spirit within Zhao Feng's body was becoming closer to the element of wind lightning. His flame of true spirit could become the wind, lightning, true fire. However, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's strength wasn't to be underestimated. He took the wind lightning eye flame head-on without any defenses and didn't die. If it was a weaker, true Lord rank, they would have lost a layer of skin, even if they didn't die. Blood Corpse Flame. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes flickered with scarlet flames as his cold voice echoed through the mountains. Whoosh! The Blood Corpse's body, which was covered by the silver-patterned cloth, suddenly burst into a crimson-purple bloody flame. It was dark and heavy, accompanied by an extremely cold wind. Instantly, the scarlet-purple flame covered his body and slowly dissipated the eroding lightning, fire, and wind flames. Zhao Feng felt the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's aura rise dramatically. The Corpse Tao True Fire within his body countered his own wind, lightning, true fire. He snickered coldly and prepared to use another lightning fire god's eye. Even if it couldn't kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, it would at least make him panic. However, the moment Zhao Feng circulated his eye bloodline power, he felt a swelling pain and fatigue rise. After all, the god spiritual eye hadn't fully stabilized yet, so he couldn't use it too much. The wind lightning eye flame that Zhao Feng had just used was extremely taxing on his eye bloodline, so he couldn't keep using it. Even under normal circumstances, Zhao Feng could only use the wind lightning eye flame 3 times. In a short span of 1 or 2 breaths, the flames on the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body disappeared, and blood flowed on its surface. His wounds quickly healed, and almost no obvious wounds could be seen. What a strong recovery ability. Zhao Feng's expression finally changed. He realized that he had underestimated the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. After all, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was a protector of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion in the past. He had been revived since the era of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion patriarch. How could his strength be so simple? It was now certain that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's mastery of the Corpse Tao was stronger than Mo Gan of the Black Cliff Palace. Mo Gan came from an enormous 2-star sect. His inheritance and strength couldn't be said to be weak. However, he was only a rising star after all. He was only around 30 years old. On the other hand, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lived for several hundred years and had merged the Blood Tao and Corpse Tao. Corpse Path excelled in defense, immunity to poison, tyrannical strength, and strong survivability. On the other hand, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's corrosive and recovery abilities were strong. When these two were combined, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's battle power would surpass the True Lord rank and might even be close to the Deputy Patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. Zhizha, brat, you think you can kill me with just a measly eye flame? If it was so easy, I would have been killed by the 10 great clans several hundred years ago. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord licked his lips and said darkly. Zhao Feng's expression didn't change as he floated in the air. This situation wasn't out of his expectations. If it was so easy to kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, he would feel that it wasn't real. Hee, then let's continue. Zhao Feng laughed instead of being surprised and disappeared with a whoosh. The next instant, lightning flashed through the air and circled around the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. The battle started once again. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord roared in anger. He didn't think that Zhao Feng would be so hard to deal with. With his mastery of the Tao of Blood Corpse, he wasn't afraid of a long battle. However, Zhao Feng's mysterious eye bloodline still made the Blood Corpse Palace Lord uneasy. The wind lightning eye flame just now didn't seem to do any actual damage to the Blood Corpse Palace Lord, but had left some hidden injuries in his body, especially his soul. What shocked the Blood Corpse Palace Lord the most was that Zhao Feng didn't seem to have any desire to kill. In fact, he seemed to be unconcerned. Zhao Feng focused on training himself and consolidating his mental energy while cultivating the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet. Brat, I won't play with you anymore. As long as you're still in the Cloud area, you won't be able to escape the Iron Dragon Alliance. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord wanted to retreat. The injury to his soul from the Wind Lightning Eye Flame started to show. In terms of speed, his opponent had the upper hand and was completely playing with him. The initiative was in Zhao Feng's hands, so the Blood Corpse Palace Lord wisely retreated. You want to run? It won't be that easy. Zhao Feng laughed lightly, and his figure flashed across the sky as he chased after the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Whoosh, whoosh. 2 powerful auras, one in front and one behind, passed through the clouds and into the forests and rivers, causing dust to tremble. They're finally gone. Lin Tong, who was in the mountain, was covered in sweat. He concealed his aura and prepared to escape. However, the moment he moved, he felt a weight on his shoulder. Meow meow. A silver-gray, thieving cat slightly bigger than a palm stood on his shoulder, and a whip covered in blood-colored runes wrapped around his body. What does that Zhao Feng want by keeping me here? Lin Tong's heart went cold. He couldn't move after being bound by the mystic snake blood whip, and he was about to turn around and use an eye bloodline technique. Pah! A cat's paw slapped Lin Tong's face, leaving a burning red mark. Not only that, Although the strength of the cat's claw wasn't too strong, there was an indescribable dizziness that made Lin Tong feel dizzy and disoriented, completely unable to find his bearings. At the same time, Zhao Feng chased after the Blood Corpse Palace Lord for dozens of miles. Those at the True Lord rank could fly 1 or 200 miles, and it wasn't hard for them to fly for 1 or 2,000 miles. Zhao Feng didn't chase after victory, and he continued to comprehend the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet. A layer of azure wind started to form around his body, as if it was a transparent barrier. In this state, the resistance against Zhao Feng's flight decreased. Layers of electric waves blossomed from the soles of his feet, creating an invisible force field. His flight prowess increased by another level. These laws seemed to be compatible with heaven and earth. The Wind Lightning Stone Tablet is as deep as the ocean. I can't comprehend even 1% of the inheritance in a short amount of time. Half of Zhao Feng's mind was immersed in the tattered world of wind lightning. With the god's spiritual eye, he could multitask and memorize everything he saw. Of course, this was also because the Blood Corpse Palace Lord wasn't several levels higher than Zhao Feng, or else Zhao Feng wouldn't be able to multitask. Brat, you only have yourself to blame, so don't blame me for paying any price. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord gritted his teeth, and his expression was extremely grim. Zhao Feng, who was hot on his heels, suddenly felt a violent aura attack him. Blood Corpse burning. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body started to burn and release a bright blood-colored light that illuminated everything within 10 miles. In an instant, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's aura rose. With the naked eye, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord seemed to have turned into a blood-colored sun. A cold and domineering fiendish light surged out and engulfed everything within a mile. The light formed by the Blood Corpse burning void was as fast as lightning as it charged toward Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng's heart jumped. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's battle power was probably comparable to Yi Yinyu and Zhuang Wan'er. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng's eye bloodline was restricted and his cultivation hadn't reached the True Lord rank yet, so he was at a disadvantage in a head-on clash. At this critical moment, Zhao Feng didn't lose his calm. Break! Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned into a freezing pond. At the same time, a layer of ice-blue blood appeared in his body and started to circulate in a strange path. Suddenly, Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as a tall figure appeared behind him. It had a crown on its head and a black sword in its hand. Below it was a throne of ice. After the sacred True Dragon gathering and the purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng's bloodline was much stronger than before. Ice Lightning Raging Dragon. Zhao Feng thrust out his palm, and wind and lightning boomed. The figure behind him waved the black sword in its hand. A soul-penetrating cold tempest assaulted Xiao Chen's face, forming a berserk wind dragon made of interweaving ice and lightning, rampaging and tyrannical. Back in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng had used this move to send the Wicked Teeth trio flying. But now, Zhao Feng's cultivation, technique, inheritance, and bloodline usage were all on a whole new level. Bam! 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 The two forces intertwined. About half a breath later, the cold blood-colored light seemed to have the upper hand and pressed toward Zhao Feng. After all, the Blood Corpse burning was the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's life-saving technique, and he had to pay a big price to use it. Bam! Bam! Zhao Feng's figure retreated 1 or 200 yards as his blue hair blew in the wind. A change. Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye changed once more and formed a patch of blue water. I wonder how strong the eye of water is. Zhao Feng quickly circulated the serene blue water within his body. Normally, the power of water was better at defense. Who knew what the corresponding bloodline power would be like? A beautiful rippling blue screen appeared around Zhao Feng's body and covered his entire body. It was like a dream water world that flashed with lightning and wind. The light of blood-colored light hit the blue water screen and created a ripple. There was no explosion, and it seemed abnormally calm. Zhao Feng's figure seemed to be in the deep ocean and didn't move. What was even more incredible was that the ripple created by the blue water screen had mysterious lines that seemed to be flowing back to the ancient times. This power was even more encompassing than the Frost family bloodline. It absorbed the Blood Corpse Palace King's secret art as much as possible. Chapter 457. In the air. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's body released a dazzling blood-colored light, as if he was a blood-colored sun. Pew 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 pew, a dominating bloody light swept across everything within a mile radius. On the other side, Zhao Feng's blue hair blew in the wind as a deep blue screen of water appeared around him and absorbed the blood-colored light. At this moment, although Zhao Feng was on the passive side, he seemed to be standing in the middle of the ocean, as calm as a lake. The bloodline power of the Eye of Water does indeed specialize in defense. The result was within Zhao Feng's expectations. In reality, ice and water were the same type of power. The only difference was their form. If it was before the gods' spiritual eyes change, Zhao Feng probably wouldn't be able to block the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's attack head-on. It's not that simple. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's dark and raspy voice sounded from the blood-colored sun. Suddenly, the blood-colored sun formed by the Blood Corpse Palace Lord charged at Zhao Feng with speed 2 to 3 times faster than normal. This protector blood corpse doesn't want to live. Zhao Feng's heart shook as his body went cold. He felt a sense of danger. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's current state was similar to burning his chi of true spirit, but it was more stable under the Blood Corpse burn state. Shua! A ripple of water appeared on Zhao Feng's body as he quickly retreated and circulated his bloodline power and chi of true spirit to the maximum. Die! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's cold face twisted as he gritted his teeth and thrust his arm forward. Crack! A blood-colored light blossomed as one of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's arms broke off and turned into a pillar of blood that shot toward Zhao Feng. What? Zhao Feng jumped up in fright as the god's spiritual eye locked onto him. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had sacrificed an arm to unleash a terrifying move that surpassed his own cultivation. Blood Corpse Broken Arm. The broken arm turned into a pillar of blood that shot into the sky. A bright blood-colored light, accompanied by scarlet-purple lines, spread across the sky. Not good. Scarlet Moon's secret technique. Even Elder Su, who was far away, sensed such a powerful attack and couldn't help but break out in cold sweat for Zhao Feng. At the critical moment, Zhao Feng opened his god's spiritual eye and controlled the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's move to the extreme. However, among all the moves in the world, only speed was unbeatable. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's terrifying speed exceeded his own level. Those at the true Lord rank couldn't dodge, unless they were at Lu Tiany's level. Zhao Feng's mind could keep up, but his body was struggling. Shoo! The pillar of blood brushed past Zhao Feng's body and passed by him. Pop! The magnificent deep blue water curtain on the surface of Zhao Feng's body rippled, suddenly dimmed, and broke with a crack. Fortunately, the water bloodline's powerful defense helped Zhao Feng absorb most of the impact. Bang! Zhao Feng's body flipped in the air, and he was forced back dozens of feet. There was a trace of blood at the corner of his mouth, and he barely managed to stabilize his body. Injured? Zhao Feng's expression was slightly grim as he calmed his blood flow. He didn't expect the Blood Corpse Palace Lord to give up an arm and pay a heavy price to counterattack. Zhao Feng's injuries weren't light, but his expression didn't change. No matter how heavy his injuries were, he had the life-returning grass and the elixir of life, which was equivalent to his second life. Suddenly, Zhao Feng felt an abnormality in his body and the power of his water bloodline. A layer of blue water flowed through Zhao Feng's body like the rain of spring and moistened his organs. Zhao Feng could only feel that his injuries were quickly recovering. The most obvious was the wounds on his body, which were healing at a speed visible to the naked eye. There wasn't even a scar left. That was great. Zhao Feng was overjoyed. Although the power of the water bloodline didn't have the speed reduction of ice, it specialized in defense, healing, and healing. This bloodline ability was used to its fullest on Zhao Feng. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's bloodline also had a similar healing ability. However, the healing ability of Zhao Feng's water bloodline was clearly stronger than the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's. This brat's bloodline can change between ice and water. This healing ability, how is it possible? Waves rose in the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's heart. The change in the god's spiritual eye allowed Zhao Feng's eye bloodline power to change between ice and water. Zhao Feng's bloodline power was a byproduct of the god's spiritual eye. His bloodline power had turned ice into water. Not only was his defense even stronger, it also had incredible nourishing and healing abilities. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had paid a great price to give Zhao Feng injuries, but the latter recovered in the blink of an eye. My injuries have healed. Zhao Feng was overjoyed and couldn't suppress it. In comparison, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's face was purple, and his expression was dark and ugly. How is this possible? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord almost spat out blood. However, he didn't lose his mind. He used the remaining power of the Blood Corpse burn to turn into a bloody mist and escape. At this moment, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lost an arm and paid a great price, but he hadn't been able to cause any real damage to Zhao Feng. He couldn't calm down, and he felt helpless. Zhao Feng floated in the air and didn't immediately give chase. The water bloodline has good healing abilities. I wonder if the god's spiritual eye can heal injuries to the soul? Zhao Feng thought about it. Most of the theories behind his eye bloodline techniques were based on the Ball of Eye Soul and the Dark Eye Incomplete page. The Ball of Eye Soul had led Zhao Feng to the door of the ancient Tao of the soul, which allowed him to heal the soul. Of course, this was just one of Zhao Feng's thoughts. He needed to find out more about his eye bloodline techniques. A few breaths later, a smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face as he watched the Blood Corpse Palace Lord leave. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord let out a breath. Why isn't this Zhao Feng chasing anymore? If Zhao Feng chased after him, the result would be unknown. However, one thing was certain. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord had lost an arm, and his battle power was greatly reduced. The situation was very bad for him. So, a while later, the sound of flying could be heard. The newcomer was an elder with white eyebrows. It was old Su, and he let out a breath when he saw that Zhao Feng was fine. He killed an entire group led by a palace lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance by himself. It's hard to imagine that he's a prodigy from the cloud area. Old Su sighed with a complicated expression. In the end, he had still underestimated this youth. Seeing that Zhao Feng was fine, Old Su knew that his worries were unnecessary. If the two of us teamed up just then, we still had a high chance of killing the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Old Su couldn't help but say regretfully. If he knew that Zhao Feng was so strong, Old Su would have stayed and killed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. If the Iron Dragon Alliance lost a true Lord rank Palace Lord, it would be a big blow. I'm not interested in killing him right now. I'll play with the Iron Dragon Alliance this time. Zhao Feng's eyes squinted as he watched the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's figure disappear into the sky. When Elder Su heard this, he immediately rolled his eyes and was speechless. It seemed that Zhao Feng was still holding back. From what he said, it wouldn't be hard for him to kill the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Thinking about it, Zhao Feng didn't even use his 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. This youth had returned from inheritance, and his soul was as vast as the ocean. His eye bloodline was unfathomable. Just how many more hidden cards did he have? Old Su couldn't help but smile bitterly. He couldn't guess Zhao Feng's intentions. Killing the Blood Corpse Palace Lord won't change the overall situation much. My goal is to destroy the Iron Dragon Alliance. Zhao Feng's heart was calm. So, Zhao Feng and Old Su talked for a while before returning. Old Su, I'll be returning to the 13 countries now. Zhao Feng said his goodbyes. Zhao Feng wouldn't directly join the Dragon Killing Alliance or lead it. Zhao Feng only needed the information network of the Dragon Killing Alliance, as well as to clean up the mess and take care of the aftermath. A while later, Zhao Feng landed near a cliff. Meow meow. The little thieving cat waved its mystic snake blood whip and threw the bound Lin Tong in front of Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng. Lin Tong hiccuped. At this moment, Zhao Feng was calm and indifferent. He had returned unscathed. Lin Tong's heart shook. Zhao Feng hadn't been injured in the battle with the Blood Corpse Palace Lord at all. From this, one could imagine that the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was at a disadvantage. Where did you get your inheritance and new eye bloodline technique? Zhao Feng asked. Lin Tong's heart trembled as he struggled. Your eye bloodline can't resist me at all. I can get the answer I want from you without any effort. Zhao Feng said slowly. You. Lin Tong gritted his teeth. He didn't dare to doubt Zhao Feng's words at all. Their eye bloodlines and attainments weren't on the same level. Of course, Lin Tong didn't know that Zhao Feng didn't dare to use his eye bloodline technique right now. He had to wait until he went to sleep. What's your relationship with the Moon Demon Palace? Zhao Feng said coldly. Moon Demon Palace? How do you know about the Moon Demon's Sacred Palace? It's the core sacred land of the Scarlet Moon Inheritance. Lin Tong's expression changed dramatically. Scarlet Moon Inheritance? You came back from the Scarlet Moon Inheritance? Zhao Feng was slightly surprised. No wonder Lin Tong's cultivation and eye bloodline had increased so much. He had entered one of the 4 great inheritances, the Scarlet Moon Inheritance. However, Scarlet Moon Demonic Religion, Scarlet Moon Inheritance, and Moon Demon Palace. What was the relationship between these 3? Half a month later, in a desolate desert, whoosh, a dim blood-red radiance fell into a huge and awe-inspiring ancient castle in the desert. The blood-colored light landed on the ground and revealed the weak figure of the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. At the same time, a large blood-blue bird descended from the sky. The blood-blue bird's aura was strong and had reached the true mystic rank. True Lord Tai Xiao, it's you? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's footsteps paused as he looked at the 2 figures on the blood-blue bird. So, 2 figures jumped down from the blood-blue bird. One of them was a black-robed youth who held a metal fan. His skin gave off a cold metallic aura. I just came back from a sacred true dragon gathering. Blood Corpse Palace Lord, what happened to you? Why are you so heavily injured? This black-robed youth was true Lord Tai Xiao. 2 years ago, at the Dragon Concealing Lake, he had forced the upper echelon elders of the 12 clans to sign a blood contract. Next to true Lord Tai Xiao was a black-robed youth with an expressionless face. Chapter 458. In the middle of the desert, a huge and gloomy castle had merged with the yellow sand. Piles of bones could be seen everywhere in the surroundings. It was a ghastly sight. In front of the castle, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord and the 2 people on the blood-blue bird met. True Lord Tai Xiao was full of surprise as he looked at the ruffled Blood Corpse Palace Lord. Not only was the latter heavily injured, he had also lost an arm. The black-robed youth on the side was also surprised and clucked his tongue. This Blood Corpse Palace Lord from the Scarlet Moon Demonic Religion is famous for being cunning and vicious. His status is one of the highest amongst the 4 Palace Lords. When did he end up like this? Blood Corpse Palace Lord, who injured you like this? Under true Lord Tiexiao's questioning, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord finally spoke with hatred and told what had happened in a few sentences. Of course, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord didn't say much about how he was defeated, as if he didn't want to mention such a thing in front of true Lord Tai Xiao, who was also a Palace Lord. Although the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's words were simple, true Lord Tai Xiao could tell how intense the situation was from the small amount of information. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord led 2 elites from the sub-palaces, and they were all slaughtered. Even the Blood Corpse Palace Lord was heavily injured and only managed to escape. All of this was done by a youth. True Lord Tai Xiao and the expressionless youth's faces were filled with shock. If it was an older True Lord rank who could do this, they could barely accept it. However, the person who did all of this was just a youth. When did such a monstrous genius appear in the cloud area? Who's that youth? True Lord Tai Xiao didn't seem to believe it. He had just returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering and had seen all kinds of geniuses. A nobody called Zhao Feng. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord said angrily before turning around and leaving, unwilling to talk about it. Zhao Feng. What? It's him? The expressions of true Lord Tai Xiao and the expressionless youth changed dramatically as they exclaimed. It was obvious that the name, Zhao Feng, had given the two a great shock. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's footsteps paused as he squinted his eyes with a weird expression. Do you know this brat? Not only do I know. It seemed that Sir Blood Zombie didn't understand the situation. He wasn't a nobody. On the contrary, he's already a heaven's favorite whose name shakes the entire continent. True Lord Tiexiao's tone was solemn as he let out a breath. After returning from the sacred True Dragon gathering, True Lord Tai Xiao and True Lord Tai Xiao understood Zhao Feng very well. What was going on? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression darkened. True Lord Tai Xiao didn't hesitate anymore and told him about Zhao Feng's performance in the sacred True Dragon gathering. During this process, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's expression was extremely colorful. In the end, it was filled with shock. Hiss! The Blood Corpse Palace Lord sucked in a cold breath. He never thought that the young man he fought with would be the heaven's favorite of this era. This generation's sacred True Dragon gathering was at its peak. Zhao Feng and Yu Qianhao were called the overwhelming prodigy kings. They surpassed countless geniuses of dozens of generations and made history pale. Maybe only legendary figures like the Scarlet Moon Patriarch and Sword Saint Yi Wuxia could compare to these two overwhelming prodigy kings when they were young. I didn't think that this brat's strength would increase so dramatically after returning from the inheritance. True Lord Tai Xiao sighed. However, thinking about how the other overwhelming prodigy king, Yu Qianhao, had reached the early stage True Lord rank after returning to the continent and made the hearts of normal True Lord rank shake, True Lord Tai Xiao understood. Facing such a terrifying, overwhelming prodigy king, True Lord Tai Xiao and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord both felt that the situation was troublesome. One or two True Lord ranks probably won't be able to kill this brat. We need to team up with several True Lord ranks in order to have any hope. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's hateful expression was slowly replaced by solemnity. Knowing what Zhao Feng had done in the sacred True Dragon gathering, the Blood Corpse Palace Lord felt slightly better. If we can't kill a genius of this level, the threat he poses in the future is immeasurable. We need to plan carefully. If we want to have a 100% chance, it's best if we can invite the division leader. True Lord Tai Xiao suggested. Division leader? The Blood Corpse Palace Lord's face instantly revealed deep respect. He was just a protector of a subdivision in the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, and his status was just below the chapter leader. However, in the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, only those at the division leader level could be considered to be in the upper echelon. In the past, the Scarlet Moon demonic religion had 12 divisions and 108 subdivisions that had almost destroyed the entire continent. At their peak, the 12 divisions could even fight against the 10 great clans of the continent. Both True Lord Tai Xiao and the Blood Corpse Palace Lord didn't doubt that if they could invite the division leader, killing Zhao Feng wouldn't be a problem at all. However, for a trivial genius junior, inviting a Hulm master-level big shot at Qi, you was simply making a big fuss over a minor issue. Doing so might even cause the Hulm master to be displeased. The division leader has been recovering his strength for the past 2 years. We can't ask him to take action until the very last moment. Furthermore, the Iron Dragon Alliance has 4 palace lords and the hidden forces of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. As long as we don't face the 10 great clans, we don't need to be afraid of anything. The Blood Corpse Palace Lord shook his head. Although Zhao Feng was strong, his threat was only at the True Lord rank. That's right. We need to contact the 2 palace kings, Nether Dragon and Bai Ji, as soon as possible. True Lord Tai Xiao nodded his head. So. The 3 figures quickly tore through the air and flew into the castle. In the air, True Lord Tiexiao's footsteps suddenly stopped. Beimoi, if I remember correctly, that brat called Zhao Feng seems to come from the same clan as you. True Lord Tiexiao's eyes were emotionless. As soon as this was said, a sharp light flashed through the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's eyes as he looked at the silent, old-fashioned youth. This black-robed youth was Moi of the Broken Moon clan who had returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering. Hearing this, Moi smiled bitterly and nodded his head helplessly. Several days later, on the border of the two strong countries, near a small river. "How long did I sleep for?" A lazy voice sounded. With a whoosh, a blue-haired youth climbed out of the sand and shook off the sand on his body. 25 days. Lin Tong, dressed in black, thought for a while and said solemnly. Ever since he was captured by the little thieving cat, Lin Tong had become a prisoner. After saying goodbye to Old Su, Zhao Feng headed toward the 13 countries. However, less than half a day later, Zhao Feng fell asleep once again. In this period of time, Lin Tong waited on the side and didn't dare to make any strange movements. Lin Tong knew the weird abilities of the little thieving cat. It could appear out of nowhere at any time and make him dizzy. Lin Tong's fear of the little thieving cat was far greater than his master, Zhao Feng. "I can't stay here any longer." Zhao Feng stretched and summoned the azure sharp swallow from his ancient metal ring. When Zhao Feng woke up this time, he felt that the pain from his left eye had lessened to the point where it was almost undetectable. He was sure his eye bloodline's condition had stabilized. However, in the space of his left eye, the pond was still close to 100 feet as it spun. Zhao Feng understood that he was only half a step away from the god's spiritual eye. The change between ice and water was just a small transition, and there wasn't much of a change in quality. Furthermore, Zhao Feng felt that his cultivation could break through to the True Lord rank at any time, and he didn't need to purposely go into seclusion. "If I can break through to the True Lord rank, my battle power and foundation will increase. However, I need to return to the Broken Moon clan as soon as possible." Zhao Feng sat on the azure sharp swallow and soared into the clouds. On the azure sharp swallow was the captive Lin Tong. "Lin Tong." Zhao Feng's left eye started to ripple. Lin Tong hiccuped, and the next instant, he felt a strong surge of mental energy from Zhao Feng's god's spiritual eye drill into his soul. No. Lin Tong struggled in panic. He was proficient in the eye bloodline, especially when it came to the mental aspect. He naturally understood the importance of the soul. The soul was the soul of a human, the origin of all living beings. Once the soul was tainted, the result would be unimaginable. However, Zhao Feng's power didn't allow him to resist. Dark Heart Seed. The ripple in Zhao Feng's left eye twisted and shot out a dark blue droplet the size of a sesame seed. Chiu, the mysterious dark blue droplet instantly merged into Lin Tong's soul. This Dark Heart Seed will monitor your every move, including your thoughts and consciousness. You won't be able to escape my senses within 10,000 miles. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. A soul technique like the Dark Heart Seed came from the Ball of Eye Soul and the Dark Eye Incomplete page. The Ball of Eye Soul contained the knowledge of the ancient Tao of the Ice Soul, which gave Zhao Feng some understanding of the soul and allowed him to absorb the essence of the Tao of the Ice Soul. The Dark Eye Incomplete page was only an incomplete page. Although Zhao Feng couldn't use it to learn the legendary Dark Eye of Death, it still contained many sinister and vicious theories of eye techniques. Dark Heart Seed, what do you want me to do? Lin Tong felt uneasy and fearful. Something had entered his soul, but he couldn't reject it and didn't dare to do so. The Dark Heart Seed that Zhao Feng used was similar to the ghost mark that the mysterious skeleton had left on him in the ancient temple. However, the Dark Heart Seed that was cast through the god's spiritual eye was much more dangerous. At a certain distance, Zhao Feng could even detonate the Dark Heart Seed and kill Lin Tong. "I need a servant when I return to the cloud area. You, who has an eye bloodline, are perfect. Otherwise, do you think you'd be able to live until now?" Zhao Feng smiled coldly. Hearing this, Lin Tong's heart went cold. Compared to humiliation, he was more worried about his future and death. Zhao Feng's meaning was that he felt that Lin Tong had some value, and that was why he kept him alive. If he didn't have any value, Lin Tong would probably end up like the other members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Of course, Zhao Feng didn't just keep Lin Tong as a servant. He also wanted to understand Lin Tong's eye bloodline and how to use it. After all, Up until now, Zhao Feng hadn't found a suitable eye bloodline. Several days later, the azure sharp swallow carried Zhao Feng and finally entered the 13 countries. Chapter 459. Morning, Broken Moon Clan. The sky moon mountain was covered in mist all year round, and under the light of the sun, it gave off a dazzling glow. The mountain was verdant, and numerous pavilions and palaces stood towering there, causing them to seem luxurious and imposing. The buildings on the Sky Moon Mountain were even more luxurious than 2 years ago, and there were many figures of disciples going in and out. It wasn't hard to find them. After the new clan master Haiyun took the position, the Broken Moon clan's strength and scale had increased day by day. Compared to 2 years ago, the clan seemed to have changed. Midair, the ancient blue floating crest palace was surrounded by a layer of blue lightning, which made it seem mysterious and grand, as if it was in an ancient legend. Of the entire Broken Moon clan, only the floating crest palace's aura was dim, as if it had been forgotten by the world. At the entrance of the mountain, "Who's there? How dare you enter the Broken Moon clan?" The 2 disciples guarding the mountain coldly stared at the young man. The young man was in his early 20s and was extraordinarily handsome, but his expression was filled with fatigue and loneliness. "Oof, you can't even recognize me?" The young man snorted coldly. His chi and blood were masculine, and there was a formless might that stirred up a gust of wind and sand. "Ah!" The 2 disciples guarding the entrance exclaimed in unison. They were so intimidated by the powerful aura that they were unable to move. The aura of the man in front of them had touched the true spirit realm, meaning he was at least half-step true spirit realm. Brother Yangon. One of the disciples at the 3rd sky of the ascended realm had a change of expression as he said fearfully, "Brother Yangon?" The other disciple also jumped up in fright. Under the lead of Clan Master Haiyun, the Broken Moon clan's expansion speed is fast. I've only left for a year, and I've already seen so many new faces. Yangon let out a self-mocking laugh as he walked in. The 2 guarding disciples looked at each other, unable to hide the shock on their faces. Brother Yangon returned at this time? Half a month ago, First Elder was punished by Clan Master Haiyun and the Regulations Elder. I heard that he's under house arrest now. Shoo, this isn't something we low-level disciples can discuss. The 2 guarding disciples sent Yangon into the clan with their eyes. On the way, Yangon greeted some familiar disciples and elders of the clan. But for some reason, Yangon felt that something was wrong and felt many strange gazes. An hour later, in a relatively old mansion on the mountain. How could this be? I've only been away for a year, but Master has been punished to face the wall and reflect on his mistakes for 2 years? Who in the Broken Moon clan has the authority to punish First Elder? Yangon's face was filled with anger as he roared. Opposite him, the silver-haired granny Luiwe smiled bitterly. Right now, Clan Master Haiyun is extremely strong and has the trust of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Not long ago, Sect Master Haiyun teamed up with the Enforcement Elder and 2 of his trusted elders to put the Great Elder under house arrest. Preposterous. Even with Yangon's calm personality, he couldn't help but fly into a rage. What right does he have? 2 years ago, Zhao Feng was wanted by Sect Master Haiyun for being a traitor. Fortunately, Grand Elder made preparations beforehand and arranged for Zhao Feng's parents, the previous Sect Master, and many other people related to this. Clan Master Haiyun still hasn't forgotten about this. Recently, he's heard news that Zhao Feng has returned to the cloud area. Granny Luiwe sighed. Brother Zhao Feng? You're saying that he's returned to the cloud area? Yangon suddenly exclaimed and said excitedly. After the sacred True Dragon gathering, Yangon's excitement had turned into loneliness. After the sacred True Dragon gathering, he didn't see Zhao Feng return from the inheritance. But now he heard news that Zhao Feng had returned to the cloud area. This is the latest news. Clan Master Haiyun was furious and ordered the 13 countries to hunt down Zhao Feng. Granny Liuyue's voice was filled with worry. Great. Brother Zhao, I hope you can return safely. Yangon couldn't suppress the joy and excitement on his face. Granny Luiyue was surprised. She suddenly remembered Yonggan's true reason for going to the sacred True Dragon gathering. "Did you see Brother Zhao at the sacred True Dragon gathering?" Granny Luiyue asked. Just as Yonggan was about to speak, a commotion came from outside. "Yonggan, why aren't you coming out to receive the clan's punishment?" A cold and stern voice came from outside. Outside the elder's palace, a few familiar true disciples were standing at the entrance, glaring like tigers watching their prey. "Yuanji, Quan, what's the meaning of this?" Yonggan walked out and looked at the group of disciples. Many of these disciples were familiar faces such as Yuanji, Quan, and Lu Hu. Most of them were from the opposing side. "Yonggan, you didn't follow the clan rules and left the clan for a year. As the head disciple, I have the right to punish you." Yuanji stood with his hand behind his back with a cold expression. After Zhao Feng, Bei Moi, and Yonggan left, Clan Master Haiyun's second disciple, Yuanji, became the new head disciple. Yonggan had left the clan for the past year and obviously didn't have the chance to become the head disciple. "Left the clan? I was ordered by First Elder to go out for a year. What right do you have to punish me?" Yonggan stood in front of the door and roared. In terms of reputation and strength, Yonggan suppressed the disciples below. Head disciple Yuanji was only at the seventh sky, and Quan was only at the sixth sky. Comparatively speaking, their cultivation speed wasn't bad. However, compared to Yonggan, they were still lacking. After all, Yonggan had returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering, and his knowledge had expanded. "Martial nephew Yang, your master was punished by the disciplinary hall to face the wall for 2 years, let alone a junior like you." A dignified and vigorous voice came from the distant mountains. "So," a green-robed old man holding a scepter descended from the sky amid surging winds and waves, exuding a majestic aura. "Regulations, Elder." A commotion broke out below as the disciples of the various sects bowed. The newcomer was the Regulations Elder who had punished Zhao Feng after the Floating Crest trial. The reason was because Zhao Feng had kicked the Regulations Elder's disciple, Lu Hu, out. At this point in time, Lu Hu was amongst the core disciples next to Yuanji and Quan as he stared coldly at the returning Yonggan. Regulations Elder. Yonggan felt a powerful and domineering true spirit aura. The Regulations Elder's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true human rank and wasn't something a mere half-step true spirit realm could compare to. Regulations Elder. It wasn't Yonggan's fault that he left the clan. It was First Elder's order. I hope you can be lenient. Granny Luiyue smiled bitterly. For a mere disciple who had left the sect to make the powerful enforcement elder personally make a move, wasn't this making a mountain out of a molehill? Seeing that it's your first time and that it wasn't your own will, I'll be lenient. From today onwards, you will lead a team to complete 49 clan missions for free. The Regulations Elder's expression calmed down. Yonggan was about to explode, but was stopped by Granny Luiyue. "Calm down. You didn't make a big mistake, so the Regulations Elder can't do anything to you. However, if you act rashly, he'll just say that you offended an elder and you'll lose a layer of skin." "Yonggan, are you willing to accept this small punishment?" A cold and dignified voice sounded. "Disciple is willing." Yonggan suppressed his anger and killing intent as he accepted the 49 clan missions. 3 days later, Yonggan led a group and walked out of the central division. Sister Ran, Brother Lin, Brother Yang. "I'm sorry." Yonggan looked behind him and couldn't help but smile bitterly at these familiar faces. Ran Xiaoyuan, Lin Fan, Yang Qingshan and company were all on good terms with Zhao Feng. Ran Xiaoyuan was the former clan master's core disciple. If it wasn't for the fact that they had lost First Elder's protection, they wouldn't have been sent to this group. "Brother Yang, I'm worried that Clan Master Haiyun won't let you go so easily. Take the chance to run when you're on a mission," Lin Fan suggested. In the past, Lin Fan and Zhao Feng had entered the inner clan from the outer clan and participated in the Floating Crest trial together. And now, Lin Fan's cultivation had reached the 4th and 5th sky of the Ascended Realm thanks to Zhao Feng's care. "I can't run, and I don't even have the chance to run." Yonggan raised his head. In the clouds, there was a small black dot in the sky above the group. is a small group worth 2 half-step true spirit realm and several experts at the seventh sky monitoring them. Not long after, Yangon led the group and walked out of the clan. Right at this moment, several air-piercing sounds streaked across the sky. Experts at the true spirit realm. Several at the true spirit realm. The members of the group couldn't help but exclaim. In their eyes, only experts at the true spirit realm could fly freely in the sky. It was extremely rare to see several experts at the true spirit realm moving out at the same time. A black-robed youth amongst the true spirit realm experts suddenly stopped. So, the sound of air flying was accompanied by a powerful aura of the true spirit realm as the black-robed youth descended. Such a young, true spirit realm. The Broken Moon clan disciples nearby all held their breaths. It's you, Baimwa. Yangon and company including Yang Qingshan couldn't help but exclaim. The black-robed youth had an expressionless face as his eyes scanned across the group and paused slightly on Yang Qingshan's face. Back then, Baimwa, Yang Qingshan, and Zhao Feng were all disciples of Lord Guanjuan. This time, Baimwa had already reached the true spirit realm, and his aura wasn't much weaker than the regulation's elder. What's going on? A weird light flashed in Baimwa's eyes. Most of the people in front of him were from First Elder's side or disciples that had a good relationship with Zhao Feng. Yangon harumphed coldly. He didn't have a good impression of Baimwa. Only Ran Xiaoyuan had a downcast expression as she explained what had happened. Oh, Baimwa didn't move as he met up with the figures in the sky and entered the Broken Moon clan. Heavenly Moon Mountain, in a huge pavilion that stood out from the crowd. Hee Baimwa, you indeed didn't disappoint me. You've returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering and even received the trust of the palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Clan Master Haiyun had a bright smile on his handsome face as he patted Baimwa's shoulder. Master, have you heard of Zhao Feng's return? According to the Iron Dragon Alliance, Zhao Feng has already entered the 13 countries and is heading toward the Broken Moon clan. This isn't good for Master, Baimwa said expressionlessly. Chapter 460. Broken Moon Clan, Clan Master's Hall. Zhao Feng has already entered the 13 countries and is heading toward the Broken Moon clan. He's extremely aggressive and isn't good for Master. Baimwa's expression was as cold as usual, but he said a shocking piece of news. Beside Baimwa were several figures covered in black robes and hats. Their auras were all at the true spirit realm, without a doubt. However, these black-robed figures were like death guards and didn't say a word. Oomph. Do you think this little brat can kill me? Clan Master Haiyun snickered coldly. Half a month ago, I found some clues and told the Iron Dragon Alliance to send a core elder to guard the Sky Moon Mountain. Moreover, I've spent a great deal of money to invite a powerful ally. I'm just waiting for Zhao Feng to walk into my trap. Master is brilliant. You always take every possibility into account. Baimwa revealed a rare look of praise. The news of Zhao Feng returning to the cloud area hadn't spread yet. Only a small number of people knew about it. The Iron Dragon Alliance locked down information regarding Zhao Feng's battle power, especially when he defeated the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. After all, this would damage the Alliance's reputation. Of course, apart from a small number of people, the outside world didn't know that Zhao Feng had killed the Blood Corpse Palace Lord's forces. What Baimwa praised was that Sect Master Haiyun was able to react according to the clues and even set up a trap for Zhao Feng. From this, one could see how intelligent he was. It definitely wasn't luck that Clan Master Haiyun was able to reach his current level. That's right, these friends are. Clan Master Haiyun's gaze moved toward the black-robed figures behind Baimwa. Ever since they returned, they had been standing behind Baimwa without saying a word. Reporting to Master. After Zhao Feng returned to the cloud area, he arrogantly challenged the Iron Dragon Alliance and posed a great threat to them. The upper echelons of the Alliance were extremely unhappy and ordered me to bring a few experts to wait for him. Baimwa calmly said, Good. I didn't think that you and I would be so important to the Iron Dragon Alliance. It seems like the heavens have decreed that Zhao Feng will not be able to return. The smile on Sect Master Haiyun's face became even brighter. That day, when Bei Moi returned, Sect Master Haiyun held a small celebration for him. However, under the seemingly lively and relaxed appearance, the entire Heavenly Moon Mountains formation was activated, and it was heavily guarded. Several elders of the Broken Moon clan had come out of seclusion to guard the clan. Secretly, the entire Broken Moon clan's guard had reached its highest point in several years. Some of the disciples at the bottom of the hierarchy could sense an unusual murderous aura. But on the surface, the Broken Moon clan was celebrating. This was Sect Master Haiyun's loose on the outside but tight on the inside strategy. At the same time, Yangon's team left the sect and started the first of the 49 punishment missions. The black dot in the clouds was a large bird that carried the experts of the Broken Moon clan. 2 at the half-step True Spirit realm, and several at the seventh sky of the Ascended realm were monitoring the group below. This is so boring. The task given by the enforcement elder to supervise these brats isn't challenging at all. The enforcement elder said that if any one of them tries to escape, we're allowed to kill them. The large bird flew in the air and monitored the situation below. The first mission of Yangon's group wasn't hard. On the contrary, it was very simple. The mission was to collect the excrement of a bird near the Broken Moon clan. Even outer disciples could do such a dirty and cheap mission, but Yangon and the other inner disciples, and even core disciples, had to do it. One had to say that this was a challenge to their dignity, patience, and tolerance. Everyone, be patient and continue. I believe that Brother Zhao will return soon and change the fate of the clan. Yangon messaged. When Brother Zhao was mentioned, the eyes of some of the people in the group sparkled. Most of the disciples present were familiar with Zhao Feng and even had a close relationship with him. Many of the people present had personally witnessed the rise and growth of the former number 1 genius of the 13 clans. Brother Zhao's achievements are definitely above Bei Moi's. But can Brother Zhao really change the fate of the Broken Moon clan by himself? Clan Master Haiyun has the Iron Dragon Alliance behind him. The disciples in the group were overjoyed. It's hard to say if he can change the situation, but it shouldn't be hard to change our situation. A calm and steady voice came from Lin Fan. Lin Fan was also the number 1 outer disciple and had become allies with Zhao Feng. They had grown up together, and he had displayed his skills in the Floating Crest trial. Lin Fan understood Zhao Feng better than anyone else here. Half a day later, Yangon's group had finished their first mission and were heading back to the clan to hand in their mission. Right at this moment, there was a burst of noise and panic at the mountain gate. "Oh my God, that person! Quick, report to the elders." At the entrance of the mountain, there were some figures who were clearly hiding in the dark. In the air, the pupils of the 2 half-step True Spirit realms and several cultivators of the 7th sky of the Ascended realm squinted as they stared at the entrance. "It's him." The expressions of the figures on the flying beast froze. At the entrance of the clan, a youth with blue hair stood with his hands behind his back with a smile that wasn't a smile as he stared straight ahead. This youth had obviously been here for a while, and he had a smile in his eyes as he inspected the clan in front of him, as if he had a special feeling. "Zhao Feng, it's really him." The expressions of the people near the clan and the flying beast changed dramatically. "Zhao Feng, you're wanted by Clan Master Haiyun, and you dared to come here to die? Zhao Feng, traitor, give up." The deacons and disciples of the Broken Moon clan stood on the high ground and shouted. But without a doubt, no one dared to make a move. In the Broken Moon clan, who didn't know about the miracles of this youth? Until now, the title of the number 1 genius of the 13 countries still belonged to the Broken Moon clan. Please report to Clan Master Haiyun that the traitor, Zhao Feng, has returned to the Broken Moon clan to admit his crimes. Zhao Feng lightly smiled and stood with his hands behind his back, his blue hair blowing in the wind. Hearing this, the crowd broke into chaos. At this moment, whether it was the disciples and deacons in the mountain gate, the experts on the demonic birds in the sky, or the teams behind them, all of them were dumbfounded. Admit his crimes? The jaws of the Broken Moon clan disciples almost dropped to the ground. Many people knew that Zhao Feng was wanted by the 13 countries and that he had escaped from the cloud area. Since he had escaped, why would he come back to admit his crimes? Was there something wrong with him? How is this possible? Brother Zhao, he actually came back to admit his crimes. Yangon and company felt as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over them. Just a moment ago, they were still thinking about the miracles that would happen after Zhao Feng's return. But in the blink of an eye, they saw such a scene. It was as if they had fallen from heaven to hell. They seemed to sense something. Zhao Feng suddenly turned around and smiled faintly at Yangon's group. That smile contained a warmth and friendliness that hadn't been seen in a long time. Yangon, Lin Fan, Yang Qingshan, and company froze. Apart from Lin Fan, everyone else couldn't hide the disappointment on their faces. Brother Zhao definitely didn't really surrender. Lin Fan had a feeling that came from his understanding of Zhao Feng. Lin Fan had experienced Zhao Feng's calmness, intelligence, and unparalleled control of the situation. Brothers and sisters, we meet again. Zhao Feng's left eye glittered with a deep blue light, giving off a feeling of spring rain washing one's heart. When they saw that mysterious left eye, the members of the mission team felt an abnormally calm and steady feeling. At the same time, Sky Moon Mountain, Clan Master's Hall. Reporting to the Clan Master, Zhao Feng has arrived at the clan and said that he's going to admit his crimes to Clan Master Haiyun. This shocking news instantly spread across the entire Broken Moon clan. Within the hall, Clan Master Haiyun, the regulations elder, the elders, and the division leaders all had dazed expressions. What? Admit his crimes? Are you sure you didn't get the wrong person? Baimua's mouth was wide open. Zhao Feng surrendered? He wouldn't believe it even if he was beaten to death. Apart from his blue hair and blue eyes, he's the same as Zhao Feng from back then. And that cat, one of the deacons said respectfully. That cat. Baimua's eyebrows twitched as anger rose in his heart. He was sure that the person who had come was Zhao Feng. Back then, that thieving cat had tricked him to death in the Floating Crest trial. Oof. Let's see what that Zhao Feng is up to. Let's go out and see. Suspicion appeared on Clan Master Haiyun's eyebrows as he stood up. A while later, Clan Master Haiyun and the upper echelon of the clan came to a tall mountain and looked down. In their vision, a blue-haired youth stood with his hands behind his back. On his shoulder was a thieving cat that was waving a white flag. Meow meow. The little thieving cat danced around happily, waving the white flag in joy. Whether it was in the mortal world or the clan world, a white flag meant surrender. This scene caused the upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan to have weird expressions on their faces. This was especially so for Baimwa. His face twitched, and the scene of the little thieving cat waving the white flag almost made him choke. Traitor Zhao Feng has returned to the Broken Moon clan to apologize to Clan Master Haiyun. Zhao Feng had a smile on his face as he walked into the clan with his hands behind his back. Stop. Traitor, since you're here to apologize, then surrender. The deacons and disciples nearby all acted as if they were facing a great enemy. Everyone could see that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm and normal people wouldn't dare to attack him. He really surrenders? Clan Master Haiyun's eyebrows furrowed. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng's calm smile was even more relaxed than before. Clan Master Haiyun felt uneasy and used his spiritual sense to confirm that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm, but he couldn't see which three heavens Zhao Feng was at. Didn't Clan Master Haiyun put a bounty on me in the 13 countries? Now that I've returned to the clan, do you not welcome me? The smile on Zhao Feng's face was warm and gentle, giving off a harmless feeling. On the mountain, the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan was having a short discussion. Clan Master, what's there to be afraid of? We'll set up the 8-dragon demon slaughtering array in front of the central hall. Even if that brat has the ability to flip the heavens, he won't be able to escape. Oof. This brat is courting death. How can we not welcome him? Chapter 461. On the peak of the mountain. After a short discussion, the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan soon came to a decision. Good, Zhao Feng. You got guts. You got guts. Since you're here to confess your crimes, I can lighten your punishment. Someone, bring Zhao Feng to the Central Division. Haiyan Master laughed as his eyes went cold, and he waved his sleeves. As soon as he said this, so, several experts with cultivations ranging from the 6th and 7th sky to the half-step true spirit realm flew towards Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng smiled, but didn't say anything. He raised his head and looked toward the sky. Plop, plop, plop. These figures are just about to catch Zhao Feng when their light suddenly dimmed and they fell from the sky dead. A cold, evil, and bloodthirsty psychic aura strangely permeated the air nearby. Who's there? The upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan were shocked as they looked towards the sky. Amongst the clouds, on top of a large bird, stood a cold youth covered in black. This is what happens to those who are rude to Master. The indifferent youth's eyes were deep and mysterious, and there was a ball of distorted crimson black in his eyes. It was a shocking sight. What a terrifying eye bloodline. The elders of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but hiccup. Not only was this cold youth's eye bloodline powerful, his cultivation had also reached the true mystic rank. One had to know, apart from the 2 reinforcements, the rest of the elders of the Broken Moon clan were all at the true human rank. Wasn't that large bird the one that was supervising us? Everyone in Yang Qian's team was stunned. Not long ago, there were experts from the Broken Moon clan on top of the Yao bird to supervise their mission. In the blink of an eye, the large bird had been taken by the cold youth. Why does that person look so familiar? Some of the geniuses and outstanding talents present stared at the cold-looking youth. It's him. Beimua's heart jumped. Lin Tong. Yangon took in a cold breath. The name Lin Tong was like a nightmare in the 13 clan assembly. Other than Zhao Feng, Song Yue, and a few other geniuses, no one else could resist Lin Tong's gaze. Back then, both Yangon and Beimua were defeated by Lin Tong and couldn't even take one move. It was to the extent that years later, Lin Tong would still leave a shadow in their hearts. On this day, Lin Tong had reappeared and his attainments far surpassed Yangon and Beimua. Lin Tong had top-tier talent and a powerful eye bloodline. It could be said that he was one of the top geniuses in the 13 countries. At this moment, when Lin Tong appeared and spoke in a domineering manner, everyone present was shocked. Lin Tong clearly belongs to the Iron Dragon Alliance and is a core member of the Scarlet Moon demonic sect. Why? Beimua was slightly puzzled. He and Lin Tong were both members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. However, Lin Tong's status was much higher than Beimua's. He had been accepted into the Scarlet Moon demonic religion and was heavily nurtured. It was said that he had even entered the Scarlet Moon inheritance. What shocked everyone even more was that the powerful Lin Tong actually referred to Zhao Feng as his master. Lin Tong, don't be rude. This time, I'm sincerely apologizing to sect leader Haiyan. Zhao Feng smiled faintly and slowly walked towards the central hall. On the way, no one dared to attack Zhao Feng. Clan Master Haiyun's eyes twinkled as he led the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan to the central hall. Zhao Feng walked very slowly, and he saw many familiar faces on the way. Halfway up the hill, Zhao Feng, why did you come back? The eyes of the 2 white-bearded elders bulged out, and they were filled with shock and confusion. Old Man Guan, Old Man Zhang. A warm smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. He felt warmth in his heart as he thought back to when he first entered the Broken Moon clan and how the 2 of them fought to take him as a disciple. Zhao Feng had learned many things from the 2 elders, and he now had a solid foundation in the Tao of pills and arrays. But in the end, Zhao Feng didn't choose the Tao of pills or the world of arrays. Zhao Feng, why did you come back? The 2 elders couldn't help but look at Zhao Feng. Back in the Broken Moon clan, the 2 of them had put a lot of hope in Zhao Feng. They didn't understand what Zhao Feng was doing right now. How could the 2 of them let a genius like Zhao Feng die like this? Don't worry. How could Zhao Feng let you down? Zhao Feng faintly smiled. After leaving behind these words, He turned and left. Elder Zhang and Elder Guan exchanged glances with each other. They were both shocked. It wasn't hard for them to see that Zhao Feng's cultivation had reached the true spirit realm, and his aura wasn't something any elder or upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan could compare to. The two of them had solemn expressions as they watched Zhao Feng walk towards the central hall. In front of the central hall, Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, and the other elders all arrived. Above the central palace, the floating Crest Palace, which was surrounded by lightning, suddenly lit up. Floating Crest Palace, long time no see. Zhao Feng smiled and nodded his head. An unbelievable scene appeared. The Floating Crest Palace seemed to sense something, and with a hum, the aura of lightning became stronger, as if it was welcoming a good friend. The expressions of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan were slightly ugly. The Floating Crest Palace was the core inheritance of the Broken Moon clan. But now, the Floating Crest Palace had sensed something. What did that mean? Ha! What an arrogant brat. He dares to charge into the heaven and earth net alone. A loud voice that shook the clouds sounded from the mountains far away. Whoosh! A purple-red burly man strode through the air, accompanied by the low whistling of the wind. The aura of the scarlet-purple large male was condensed and gave off a terrifying aura that made even the elders at the true spirit realm tremble. True mystic rank. He seems to be at the peak true mystic rank. The Regulations Elder, Granny Luiwe, and the other elders all took in a cold breath. 7th Core Elder. Clan Master Haiyun was overjoyed and immediately went up to welcome him. This person was one of the 2 reinforcements that Clan Master Haiyun had asked for. A few days ago, Clan Master Haiyun had heard the news of Zhao Feng's return and felt uneasy. After all, Zhao Feng's miracles had spread across the 13 countries. Who knew what path of retreat First Elder had left for Zhao Feng, or maybe even reinforcement from strong countries. Therefore, Clan Master Haiyun had asked for help from the Iron Dragon Alliance. At that time, the 2 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance had been killed by Zhao Feng, and they generously sent over a core elder, who was ranked 7th. Any core elder of the Iron Dragon Alliance was an existence that Clan Master Haiyun could only dream of. Furthermore, the one they sent was the 7th core elder. Furthermore, just to be safe, Clan Master Haiyun had spent a lot of money to invite a powerful ally. Hee. Clan Master Haiyun doesn't need to worry. A light laugh came from afar. The newcomer was a middle-aged man wearing a scholar's robe. He had a circle of silver light under his feet, and he had a crystal green bamboo sword on his back. It's Xiang Yunzi. Clan Master Haiyun was able to invite him. This Xiang Yunzi doesn't belong to any sect, but he's the most legendary wandering cultivator in the 13 countries. Many of the elders of the Broken Moon clan recognized the middle-aged man. In the world of clans, most cultivators came from clans or families. However, there were some exceptions. Even if the chance was small, there were still peak experts that could be born from wandering cultivators. Xiang Yunzi was a typical example of this. He was very popular and had a good relationship with the other sects of the 13 sects. Under normal circumstances, Xiang Yunzi's identity in the 13 countries was like a peacemaker, and he rarely participated in the battles between clans. However, for Clan Master Haiyun to be able to invite such a wandering cultivator to the clan meant that he must have paid a heavy price. In front of the central hall, the sudden arrival of the 7th Core Elder and Xiang Yunzi caused the atmosphere to become tense. However, compared to the 7th Core Elder's domineering hostility, Xiang Yunzi was much friendlier. Xiang Yunzi smiled from ear to ear and said, "Nephew Zhao, your master, Situ Mo, and I have a bit of a friendship. Since you've come to the Broken Moon clan to ask for forgiveness, I hope you can be sincere and don't make a big fuss." Zhao Feng didn't hear it and walked step by step towards the central hall. He only had one target, and that was Clan Master Haiyun. "Brat, you refuse a toast only to drink a forfeit. Let this elder take you down." The 7th Core Elder's body was covered in a scarlet-purple fire, and he was like a small volcano that gave off a scorching aura that could destroy a village in the next instant. The hearts of the elders and upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan trembled. The 36 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance were all at the true mystic rank. The top 10 all had terrifying battle power only below the true lord rank. This scarlet-purple male was ranked 7th and was a rare body cultivator. Just his body alone could crush true mystic rank cultivators of the same rank. If they fought in close combat, even true lord ranks would be threatened. Pung. The purple and scarlet male was like a human-shaped monster that charged toward Zhao Feng with terrifying waves of heat. Soaring sky, slashing sword. A light flashed in Xiang Yunzi's eyes, and the bamboo sword on his back slashed out with a wung toward Zhao Feng. At this point in time, the two true mystic ranks attacked at the same time. However, the scarlet-purple male and Xiang Yunzi's figures had just moved when their hearts jumped and uneasiness came from their souls. In the air, on top of a large bird, Scarlet Demon Moon Eye. Lin Tong's scarlet-black eyes twisted and two blood-colored crescent moons appeared. Bam! Bam! Two bloody crescents that were filled with cold, murderous, negative energy pierced through the clouds and hit the purple man and Xiang Yunzi as fast as lightning. Wah! Wah! Xiang Yunzi and the scarlet-purple male's bodies shook, and they both spat out a mouthful of blood. The two's faces went pale as they looked up in shock at the cold youth that they had ignored. 2 years later, the terrifying genius with the best talent and bloodline in the 13 nations showed his might again. What a terrifying bloodline technique, injuring two true mystic rank experts with just one glance. This Lin Tong is 10 times or even 100 times stronger than before. The crowd broke out into chaos, especially the geniuses that had participated in the alliance banquet of the 13 countries. Baimua's heart couldn't calm down. This Lin Tong indeed entered the Scarlet Moon inheritance. He's probably almost unrivaled against those under the True Lord rank. It was hard to imagine that such a terrifying genius would become Zhao Feng's servant and fighter. Chapter 462. Broken Moon Clan, Central Hall. The disciples on the mountain all held their breaths in shock. At this moment in time, Lin Tong in the air became the focus of everyone's eyes. Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, and the other elders, including the two true mystic ranks, were filled with wariness and fear. Two true mystic ranks had been defeated in one glance. No one could describe how terrifying this new prodigy was. One had to know. Xiang Yunzi was the most legendary cultivator in the 13 countries, and the number of people that could compare to him could be counted on one's fingers. The 7th core elder's strength was even more terrifying. Just his body alone could crush most true mystic ranks, and he was unparalleled under the true lord rank. These two true mystic ranks weren't even able to block one glance from Lin Tong. Lin Tong, how dare you betray the alliance and work with this brat? The 7th core elder wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and roared in anger. Lin Tong, Baimua, and the 7th core elder all belonged to the Iron Dragon Alliance. Of course, Lin Tong and the 7th core elder had higher statuses. Facing the 7th core elder's question, Lin Tong remained silent. However, his eyes were filled with helplessness as he glanced at the blue-haired youth below. These details obviously couldn't escape the eyes of the experts present. A terrifying prodigy like Lin Tong is willing to serve Zhao Feng. Back at the alliance banquet of the 13 clans, Zhao Feng and Lin Tong, who both had bloodlines, stood on opposite sides. The ancient shrine that Lin Tong was in was rumored to be a small branch of the Scarlet Moon demonic sect in the 13 nations. Back at the Dragon Concealing Lake, the ancient shrine had betrayed them. Lin Tong was definitely a trusted member of the Iron Dragon Alliance and was even valued by the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. It wasn't hard to guess that Lin Tong was being forced. Furthermore, facing the 7th core elder's question, Lin Tong didn't explain. I'll only ask for forgiveness from Clan Master Haiyun. Others shouldn't interfere. A light laugh came from the blue-haired youth below. The hearts of Clan Master Haiyun and company shook. It was hard to imagine Zhao Feng's strength if even a terrifying prodigy like Lin Tong was forced to work with him. Invisibly, The blue-haired youth in their field of vision caused everyone to be filled with suspicion, fear, and respect. No one dared to act rashly. As strong as the Seventh Corps Elder and Xiang Yunzi were, they felt deep fear in their hearts. They couldn't see through their opponent's strength at all. Even a servant of Zhao Feng could kill him instantly. It was even more impossible to estimate the strength of the mastermind. Thud! Thud! The whole place was silent. It seemed that only the sound of the blue-haired youth's casual footsteps could be heard. Finally, at a certain moment, Zhao Feng stepped into the square in front of the central hall. He's close. That kid is about to enter the range of the formation. Sect Leader Haiyun, the 8 dragon demon slaying array is ready. The hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan sped up. The 8 dragons demon slaughtering array was definitely their strongest trump card. This 8 dragon demon slaughtering formation was constructed and strengthened by an ancient formation. Just the preparation of the formation's materials cost a lot of money and manpower. Furthermore, to activate it, we need 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm and 64 elites at the 6th and 7th sky of the Ascended Realm. The Broken Moon clan had already sent out 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm. Baimwa was also one of the 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm. The formation is ready. Ha ha! That brat has already entered the range of the array. If he goes any closer, he'll be at the core of the array. Even a true lord rank wouldn't be able to escape unscathed. The upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan were overjoyed. They had absolute confidence in the power of the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array. Zhao Feng. No. Below the mountain, Old Man Zhang and Old Man Guan exclaimed. Old Man Zhang, who specialized in arrays, had participated in the creation of the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array and knew its power. Unfortunately, their warning was already too late. Zhao Feng stepped into the core of the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array. At this moment, this was the best time to activate the array. The upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan were overjoyed. Hee 8 dragon demon slaughtering array? I've heard Old Man Zhang mention this array when I was studying in the clan mission division. A faint laugh came from the blue-haired youth in the core of the array. What? The hearts of those from the Broken Moon clan shook as they looked at Zhao Feng in disbelief. Clan Master Haiyun's heart skipped a beat, and he felt uneasy. The youth in front of him obviously knew a thing or two about arrays. Not only did he know the existence of the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array, he had casually walked in and saw through it. At this moment, the hearts of the upper echelon and reinforcements of the Broken Moon clan trembled as a coldness spread across their bodies. The mysteriousness of the youth in front of them had reached the point where their minds were on the verge of collapsing. One of the 2 reinforcements, Xiang Yunzi, was filled with regret. Before being invited by Haiyun Master, he had studied the lineup of experts to deal with Zhao Feng, especially the terrifying power of the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array. However, the reality was out of his expectations. Everything was because of the unfathomable blue-haired youth. Back then, he was the number 1 genius of the 13 countries and escaped to a faraway country. Now, he had returned, and no one knew his true strength. Everyone, don't be scared by this brat. Let's work together and kill him. The law enforcement elder said in a fierce manner. 8 dragon demon slaughtering array, open. The 8 cultivators at the True Spirit Realm circulated their chi of True Spirit, and the 64 experts at the 6th and 7th sky of the Ascended Realm all supported the array. Instantly, 8 dragon-shaped chains of different colors appeared, each of them dozens of yards long. They were like 8 ancient dragon-locking chains that instantly locked down the area Zhao Feng was in. The 8 dragon demon slaughtering array is so powerful. Each of the 8 dragon-shaped chains is comparable to the peak true mystic rank. The upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan trembled with excitement. Many people had never seen such a grand ancient formation in their lives. It was an eye-opener for them. Chill. Zhao Feng stood where he was, the 8 dragon-shaped chains instantly sealing off all his paths of escape. It was like a prison that had him trapped in it. Chill. Bam. 2 of the dragon-shaped chains wrapped around Zhao Feng's legs. Unfortunately, if the 8 true mystic ranks teamed up, they might be able to threaten me, Zhao Feng said regretfully. His body suddenly blossomed with a layer of transparent light shield condensed from thunder patterns and wind waves. With 2 ding-ding sounds, the 2 dragon-shaped light chains were shaken off. Ding, ding, ding. Sparks flew on the barrier of wind and lightning as the 8 dragon-shaped chains hit Zhao Feng's body, but were pushed away. This 8 dragon demon slaughtering array needs the 8 dragon connecting heart. You guys aren't on good terms and haven't practiced enough, so you can only use 60 to 70% of the array's power. Zhao Feng shook his head. He slowly approached Sect Master Haiyun, who was at the center of the formation. Brat, don't be arrogant. Clan Master Haiyun's voice was trembling. No one would have thought that Zhao Feng would be so strong that he could walk through the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array. Clan Master Haiyun, I'm here to ask for forgiveness. There's no need to be so nervous. Zhao Feng had his hand behind his back and smiled faintly. From the looks of it, he really didn't plan on taking Clan Master Haiyun's life. Suddenly, a desolate voice sounded from one end of the central plaza. This voice seemed to have a magical power that could enter one's heart. Although it was extremely soft, everyone present could hear it clearly. This voice, the expressions of Lin Tong and Bei Moi in the central hall changed. The hearts of the 8 true spirit realms, Clan Master Haiyun, the 7th Core Elder, and company shook. At this moment, the air seemed to have frozen, leaving only the desolate voice that drilled into the soul. Shua, shua, shua. In the corner of the central plaza, 3 black-cloaked figures suddenly took off their cloaks and revealed their original appearances. 3 terrifying auras spread out in the central hall square. 2 males and 1 female were like the kings of hell as they stood in front of the palace. Shua, one of the black-clothed male, held a metal fan. His skin, hair, and clothes seemed to be made of metal and gave off a cold metallic aura. Shua, shua. A silver metal flashed in the air. Zhao Feng's footsteps froze. Behind him, the black-clothed male's eyes were cold as the metal fan in his hand released a cold light that was only an inch away from Zhao Feng's back. The light only needed to flash once, and Zhao Feng would be sliced in half. True Lord Tai Xiao. The instant the black-clothed male appeared, the upper echelon elders of the Broken Moon clan, including Clan Master Haiyun, exclaimed, True Lord Tai Xiao. This name was like a nightmare that was imprinted on the upper echelon of the 13 clans. Greetings, 3 palace lords. The 7th Core Elder revealed an overjoyed expression. Yulong, Tai Xiao, and Bai Ji. How is this possible? Bei Moi's face was filled with shock. Before he left, the upper echelon of the alliance had told him that they would send 3 experts to the Broken Moon clan to help him deal with Zhao Feng. However, who would have thought? These 3 reinforcements were the 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Greetings, Yulong, Tai Xiao, and Bai Ji. Cold sweat appeared on Lin Tong's forehead as he hovered in the air. Shua, shua. Apart from true Lord Tai Xiao, the other male and female formed a triangle that surrounded Zhao Feng. The one with the strongest aura, Palace Lord Yulong, had black hair and a black horn on his head. His body was covered in a layer of black scales and gave off an ancient and mysterious aura. His existence was like a nightmare from hell. On the left was Palace Queen Bai Ji. She wore a dreamy and luxurious dress. She had the face of an angel and the body of a devil. Her aura was strange and obscure. She also had an ethereal feeling. Every frown and smile of hers could seduce the souls of others. Bei Moi, very well done. Zhao Feng indeed returned to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to ambush this brat so easily. Palace Lord Yulong's black hair blew in the wind, and his voice seemed to come from the Lord of the Abyss. Time and space seemed to freeze at this moment. Everyone in the Broken Moon clan was dazed and they didn't even dare to breathe. 3 of the 4 pillars of the Iron Dragon Alliance had appeared at the same time in the Broken Moon clan. 3 palace lords, so I was just bait. Clan Master Hyun let out a long breath and smiled bitterly. Chapter 463. So I'm just bait. Clan Master Hyun's heart calmed down. He didn't need to worry about his own safety anymore. Any palace lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance was a figure that could turn the clouds and rain with one hand. Furthermore, at this moment, the arrival of the 3 palace lords was enough to change the skies of Cloud Hingyong. Everything rotten could be transformed into something magical. However, apart from joy, Clan Master Hyun was also filled with bitterness. No matter how many plans he had, he was just a small bait in the grand scheme of things. However, Clan Master Hyun was puzzled. 3 palace kings had come to the Broken Moon clan just to deal with a junior? Wasn't this making a mountain out of a molehill? At this moment, the entire heavenly moon mountain was silent. Not a sound could be heard. The mental energy pressure from the 3 true lord ranks caused the heaven, earth, yuan qi to freeze and the hearts of all beings to tremble uneasily. From the clan master to the elders to the disciples of the Broken Moon clan, they were all uneasy and uneasy. No one would have thought that this would happen. A fight between Zhao Feng and Clan Master Hyun would end up like this. However, more suspicions covered the hearts of those from the Broken Moon clan. What power does this Zhao Feng have to make the 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance team up to ambush him? The entire Broken Moon clan couldn't help but be puzzled and shocked. So, at the same time, the sound of whistling through the air came from outside the Broken Moon clan. No less than 10 powerful auras came from all directions of the Broken Moon clan. Each aura made the hearts of the upper echelon experts of the Broken Moon clan shake. True mystic rank. They're all experts at the 2nd rank of the true spirit realm. 1, 2, 3, oh my god. 10 true mystic ranks. The Iron Dragon Alliance sent out 10 core elders. The entire Broken Moon clan fell into panic and shock. Normally, any one of these Iron Dragon core elders could make the Broken Moon clan tremble. But today, 10 core elders came in one go. Of course, the ones that people looked up to and respected the most were the 3 great palace kings who stood above all living beings. In order to kill Zhao Feng, the Iron Dragon Alliance sent out so many top-tier forces. Sect Master Yin Hai couldn't calm down. Even if they wanted to destroy the Broken Moon clan, sending 1 or 2 core elders and a branch palace was more than enough. Faintly, Clan Master Hyun and the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan felt that something was wrong. After the deep shock, everyone's gazes gradually fell on the source of everything, Zhao Feng. All of the shocking and overturning scenes before them had been caused by this young man. This young man, who used to be the #1 genius of the 13 countries, seemed to be shrouded in suspense. The atmosphere was strange. After the 3 palace kings surrounded Zhao Feng in a triangle, their expressions did not relax. Among them, True Lord Tiexiao's fan was only an inch away from Zhao Feng's back. In everyone's eyes, True Lord Taixiao only needed to wave his hand to split Zhao Feng in 2. However, True Lord Taixiao, Yulong, and Bai Ji didn't make any rash moves. Zhao Feng, who was trapped in the 8-dragon demon slaughtering array and surrounded by the 3 palace lords, still stood with his hands behind his back and a faint smile. Zhao Feng, your performance in the sacred True Dragon Gathering stunned the entire continent. You're one of the most dazzling prodigies in the world. Even I am deeply impressed by your talent and tenacity. True Lord Taixiao said slowly. As soon as these words came out, the entire crowd was shocked. Sacred True Dragon Gathering? The legendary Sacred True Dragon Gathering? From True Lord Tiexiao's words, Zhao Feng had extremely dazzling results in the Sacred True Dragon Gathering. For the Broken Moon clan and even the 13 countries, the Sacred True Dragon Gathering was a faraway place of legends. The other 2 palace lords didn't underestimate Zhao Feng at all and locked their gazes onto him. Zhao Feng, you're so young, but have such strength. and even heavily injured the Blood Corpse Palace Lord. You have to know that of the 4 Palace Lords, no one can beat him apart from me. I'm sure that even the Division Master would nurture a genius like you. Palace Lord Yulong's voice resounded across the central plaza. Of the 4 Palace Kings, Palace King Yulong had the highest status, and his strength was the most unfathomable. Palace Lord Yulong had a black horn on his head, and his bloodline aura made Zhao Feng's blood tremble slightly. Those without a bloodline would feel panic when they got close to Palace Lord Yulong. It was like a lamb facing a wolf or a lower life form facing a higher life form. Palace Lord Yulong's words caused the hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan to shake. This Zhao Feng defeated a Palace Lord of the Iron Dragon Alliance before. Even the leader of the 4 Palace Lords, Yulong, gave him an olive branch. The shocking clan master Haiyun, the regulations elder, and company's eyes spread to their faces. All of them broke out in cold sweat. To think that they'd been planning to deal with such a terrifying figure. Everyone's gazes landed on Zhao Feng. This included Bei Moi and Lin Tong. If the 3 Palace Lords can take care of Zhao Feng, the threat of the dark heart seed in my body will be resolved. Lin Tong let out a breath in his heart. Both sides were waiting for the blue-haired youth's response. However, Zhao Feng still had his hands behind his back, and his gaze landed on Haiyun Master before turning to Bei Moi. Finally, he slowly opened his mouth. Brother Bei Moi, you've done very well. The experts of the Iron Dragon Alliance did indeed come to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, thank you. If it wasn't for your perfect cooperation, my plan wouldn't have been completed so smoothly. Gentle laughter reverberated in the mountains. As soon as he said this, Bei Moi's mouth was wide open as if he was choking on his tears. Cooperation? When did I? Clan Master Haiyun's expression suddenly froze. Who? Only Fenglan's voice remained in the Broken Moon clan. True Lord Taishao and Palace Lord Bai Ji were dazed. What? Palace Lord Yulong exclaimed as his expression darkened. The crowd felt that something was amiss, but after thinking about it carefully, many of them came to a sudden realization. So, Zhao Feng's words were almost exactly what Palace Lord Yulong had said. Bei Moi, you've done very well. Zhao Feng indeed returned to the Broken Moon clan. Clan Master Haiyun, thank you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have been able to ambush this brat so easily. The same words were slightly changed by Zhao Feng and sent back. One could imagine. Bei Moi and Clan Master Haiyun's expressions were interesting. True Lord Taishao and Palace Lord Bai Ji even looked suspiciously at Haiyun Master and Disciple. But from Haiyun Master and Bei Moi's expressions, they were obviously dazed. How is this possible? With Clan Master Haiyun's intelligence, how could he not understand the truth? At this moment, a strong sense of humiliation appeared in his heart. This Clan Master Haiyun is really unlucky. He's being used as bait by both the Iron Dragon Alliance and Zhao Feng. Lin Tong, who was in the air, was stunned. Zhao Feng returning to the Broken Moon clan and asking for forgiveness wasn't to kill Clan Master Haiyun. At least, killing Clan Master Haiyun wasn't the main goal. Sect Master Haiyun, on the other hand, was a bait. The Iron Dragon Alliance had predicted that Zhao Feng would return to the Broken Moon clan, and Clan Master Haiyun would be someone he had to kill. However, why wouldn't Zhao Feng use Clan Master Haiyun to attract more experts from the Iron Dragon Alliance? Before, Zhao Feng purposely let the Blood Corpse Palace Lord go because he didn't think the benefits were big. It's enough to attract 3 Palace Lords and 10 Core Elders. More than enough. Zhao Feng smiled brightly. The expressions of Yulong, Taishao, and Bai Ji changed as anger rose in their hearts. This was the first time they had seen such an arrogant person ever since the Iron Dragon Alliance was formed. Brat, don't be arrogant. You think you can deal with 3 True Lord ranks by yourself? True Lord Taishao exclaimed as he waved his fan and sent a cold arc of light toward Zhao Feng. Ding! Pung! Pung! With a flash of light, a soul-shaking howl sounded. Ding! Sparks flew and True Lord Tiexiao's arm went numb, and his fan almost flew out of his hand. Ding! 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 True Lord Tiexiao's expression changed dramatically as he was pushed back dozens of yards. That's... True Lord Tiexiao's face was filled with shock as he looked at the dark mist around Zhao Feng. Whoosh! Two tall, dark silver ghost corpses could be faintly seen amidst the dark gray mist, and they emitted a peerlessly horrifying, deathly corpse chi. Just the aura from the two dark silver ghost corpses was enough to suffocate some disciples. True Lord rank. How is this possible? There's two true Lord rank ghost corpses. The hearts of the other two palace lords shook. True Lord Taixiao had obviously been tricked. The two true Lord rank ghost corpses almost made him drop his weapon and almost spat out a mouthful of blood. In terms of cultivation, True Lord Taixiao was also at the early stage True Lord rank. The two dark silver ghost corpses had the same strength as an early stage True Lord rank, but they had the advantage in terms of physical strength. Shua! The two true Lord rank dark silver ghost corpses circled around Zhao Feng's left and right and moved like lightning. Bam! In the blink of an eye, the 8 dragon demon slaughtering array around Zhao Feng collapsed. Clan Master Haiyun and company were scared witless by the auras of several true Lord ranks. No one would have thought that Zhao Feng would have such a hidden card. He immediately sent out 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. This power was like child's play to the Broken Moon clan. No, even destroying the 13 clans wouldn't be a problem. Zhao Feng still had such a powerful trump card. Bei Moi and even Lin Tong seemed to be in a daze as they looked at Zhao Feng, who was being protected by 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. The 3 palace lords even forgot to take action. True Lord Taixiao, who had once dominated the 13 clans, was pushed back by the 2 ghost corpses and was almost injured. Yu Long and Bai Ji, the 2 palace kings, were shocked and unable to accept reality. The 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses were enough to flip the scales of victory. This meant that Zhao Feng and the 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses had the battle power of 3 true Lord ranks and were on the same level as the 3 palace lords. However, if Zhao Feng dared to use Clan Master Haiyun as bait against the upper echelon of the Iron Dragon Alliance, how could he not have other methods? At this moment, the figures of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but take in cold breaths as they looked at the figure of the blue-haired youth with wariness and respect. It's time to pull in the net, but the Broken Moon clan used to be my clan. We need to finish this quickly. Chapter 464. Sky Moon Mountain, Central Square. Zhao Feng was surrounded by the 3 palace lords, then the 8 true spirit realm experts, and 64 elites. In fact, the 10 core elders were eyeing them like tigers watching their prey. The Broken Moon clan of the past was like a net that made Zhao Feng's figure seem isolated. Zhao Feng, you surprised me. You even have 2 true Lord rank ghost corpses. No wonder you dare to return to the Cloud area and challenge the Iron Dragon Alliance. Palace Lord Yu Long finally recovered after a short moment of shock. At the same time, the 3 palace lords exchanged glances with each other. The plan to capture and kill him, which seemed to be in the bag, now had an anomaly. With the 2 dark silver ghost corpses in front of Zhao Feng, they had the battle power of 3 true Lord ranks. This meant that the Iron Dragon Alliance didn't have much of an advantage in terms of intimidation. If Zhao Feng wanted to run, the possibility of them killing him wasn't high. Usually, several true Lord ranks were needed to kill a true Lord rank together in order to have a higher chance. This meant that the price and difficulty of dealing with 3 true Lord ranks would increase by several times. Zhao Feng, I admit that I've greatly underestimated you. You're very strong and arrogant. You returned to the Broken Moon clan this time and used me as bait. If you really wanted to attack, my corpse would have been somewhere else by now. At the center of the array, Clan Master Haiyun's eyes flashed with a cold light. Zhao Feng laughed, but didn't say anything. Killing Clan Master Haiyun wasn't a challenge at all. The Iron Dragon Alliance was the big fish. Laughable. Haiyun Master was the master of a clan and was famous for his schemes. However, he was being used as bait by both the Iron Dragon Alliance and Zhao Feng's side. To sect leader Haiyun, This was a great humiliation. In the game between the two sides, he was an insignificant small fry that could be pinched to death at any time. Indeed, Zhao Feng did this on purpose. He wanted Clan Master Haiyun to taste the feeling of being an ant and being played around by others. Zhao Feng, you're wrong. From your first master, Lord Guanjuan, to your second first elder, you've all been defeated by me. Clan Master Haiyun's laughter was extremely weird and feminine. Zhao Feng's eyes narrowed. What else did Haiyun Master want to play? However, what Haiyun Master said wasn't wrong. The reason why Haiyun Master could reach his current position wasn't just because of his strength, but also because of his schemes. In the clan war, Haiyun Master relied on the Iron Dragon Alliance to kill the beautiful clan master and became the clan master. During the clan war, Haiyun Master joined the Iron Dragon Alliance and killed the beautiful clan master, becoming the clan master in one fell swoop. After Yun Hai became the clan master, the Broken Moon clan's ranking in the 13 clans continued to rise, and it even reached the top 5. Even someone as strong as First Elder had been defeated by Haiyun Master. One had to admit that Haiyun Master's strength exceeded others. That's right, my 2 masters lost to you. But for me, everything will change. Zhao Feng didn't deny this. Defeat was defeat, victory was victory. No matter what methods he used, Haiyun Master had always been the winner. Even when Zhao Feng first entered the Broken Moon clan, he had to struggle to survive under Haiyun Master's pressure. Bring him up. Clan Master Haiyun's eyes went cold as he waved his hand. Shua! 2 or 3 figures suddenly appeared on a distant mountain peak. On the left and right was a middle-aged man in gold and a white-faced youth. The 2 of them were holding a white-haired old man hostage. First Elder, the entire Broken Moon clan exclaimed. Everyone's gazes were fixed on the white-haired old man who had appeared on the mountain peak. The white-haired elder was First Elder Broken Moon. The middle-aged man in gold and the white-faced youth were Elder Shui and Sun Yuanhao. Zhao Feng, back in the Floating Crest trial, you kicked me out and missed a great opportunity. Today, I'll let you taste what it's like to be threatened. Sun Yuanhao's white face was filled with viciousness. Thinking back to when he first entered the Broken Moon clan, he was found to have a changeable body and was taken in as a disciple by Elder Shui. However, in the Floating Crest trial, he was kicked out by Zhao Feng in the first round. From then on, although his talent was high, he was still a line or 2 away from Zhao Feng and Beimoi. Zhao Feng, I'm sure that you're someone who knows how to repay kindness, just like your 2 masters. Haiyun Master's handsome face was filled with a smile. Beautifully done. The eyes of the 3 palace lords lit up. If they could threaten Zhao Feng's master, although they might not be able to change the situation, they could at least make Zhao Feng hesitate. Zhao Feng, I won't threaten your life. If you cut off one of your arms or destroy a true Lord rank ghost corpse, I can exchange for your master's life. Clan Master Haiyun had a cunning expression. He wouldn't ask Zhao Feng to kill himself in exchange for First Elder's life. That wasn't realistic, and Zhao Feng wasn't an idiot. If he died, First Elder wouldn't even have a chance to live. Therefore, Clan Master Haiyun was smart. As long as Zhao Feng cut off one of his arms or destroyed a true Lord rank ghost corpse. Although it wouldn't kill Zhao Feng, it would weaken Zhao Feng's battle power. Smart. The 3 palace lords couldn't help but look at Clan Master Haiyun in a different light. However, would Clan Master Haiyun's threat work? Normally speaking, the success rate was higher. After all, Clan Master Haiyun wasn't threatening with his life. At this moment, the entire Broken Moon clan held their breaths as they stared at the blue-haired youth who was being threatened. Haiyun Master, very interesting. Zhao Feng wasn't surprised at all. On the contrary, he laughed lightly. Clan Master Haiyun's heart jumped. Could it be that Zhao Feng was so cold that he didn't care about First Elder's life? Unfortunately, no matter how much you think, you're still 1 step behind. The moment I entered the Broken Moon clan, I was destined to be in control of everything. The mockery on Zhao Feng's face became stronger. I'm in control of everything. The hearts of Clan Master Haiyun, the 3 palace lords, and the countless experts of the Broken Moon clan shook. Not good. Stop his eye bloodline. Go and capture First Elder. The three palace lords seemed to think of something and called out. Plop, plop. On the mountain, Elder Shui and son Yuanhao spat out mouthfuls of blood and fell onto the ground unconscious. After finishing all of this, Zhao Feng's left eye casually glanced at the two. So. After the 10 Great Core elders received the order, they quickly rushed toward the Great Elder on the mountain peak. As long as they could capture First Elder, they would at least be able to cause some trouble for Zhao Feng. At the same time, the three palace lords called out in alarm, their bodies flickering as they began to attack Zhao Feng. Eye of Illusion, Illusion City Maze. A mysterious whirlpool appeared in Zhao Feng's left eye that created a lethal force. Shua! The hearts of everyone present shook. The central hall square no longer existed, and what appeared in front of them was a desolate ancient city. The ancient city was covered in white mist, and the terrain inside was complex like a maze. At this moment, on the central square, everyone was in this strange and illusory maze city. They were like flies with their heads in a mess as they scurried about in search of a passageway. Illusion City Maze, a mental energy skill based on the foundation of the Eye of Illusion, creates an illusion maze through the eye bloodline to trap all living beings in an area. Back in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng had used the Illusion City Maze. That time, he had the Wood Spirit Essence Soul and the Eye of Heaven. He had already created an illusion model for the Illusion City Maze. Next time, Zhao Feng would use the god's spiritual eye to copy the illusion. He didn't need to imagine it anymore. Invisibly, Zhao Feng once again used the Illusion City Maze, and the expenditure of his eye bloodline was reduced by more than half. Even without the Wood Spirit Essence Soul, he could still use it easily. What's going on? Why are the people on the central hall square moving around? The members of the Broken Moon clan were puzzled. The power of the Illusion City Maze covered the entire central hall square. On the battlefield, only the three palace kings were struggling with all their might. Everyone else was in a daze. A while later, Shua, the first to struggle over, was Palace Lord Yulong. His cultivation was the highest at the late-stage True Lord rank. The second was Palace Lord Bai Ji, who wasn't any weaker than Palace Lord Yulong. Her battle power wasn't any higher than the 4 Palace Lords, but she also specialized in mental energy illusions. The last was True Lord Tai Xiao. Where did Zhao Feng go? The 3 Palace Lords were stunned. Zhao Feng's figure was nowhere to be seen. I'm here. A blue-haired youth stood at the peak of a mountain, standing shoulder to shoulder with the Great Elder. The master and disciple looked at each other and smiled. Preposterous. Anger rose in the hearts of the 3 Palace Lords. They felt as if they had been tricked by Zhao Feng. It seemed like Zhao Feng only used the Illusion City Maze to escape. I didn't take the 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses with me. Palace Lord Bai Ji exclaimed as her eyes lit up. The 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses were right next to her. If she could control these 2 ghost corpses and take them for herself, she would become much stronger. I'll kill you first. Zhao Feng's left eye turned into the Eye of Ice, and a limitless abyss appeared. Limitless coldness enveloped Palace Lord Bai Ji's body. Not good. Palace Lord Bai Ji's thoughts froze, and her movements became slow. Shoo! 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 The 2 dark silver ghost corpses leapt forward and sliced open Palace Lord Bai Ji's skin. The destructive power of the Origin Core realm instantly made Palace Lord Bai Ji unable to fight back. Plop! Before the other 2 Palace Lords could react, Palace Lord Bai Ji's body was ripped into pieces and fell into a pool of blood. She was dead. So. Immediately following that, the 2 dark silver ghost corpses leapt toward Palace Lord Yulong. Palace Lord Yulong's hair stood on end as he knew that Zhao Feng's next target would be him. However, he had still underestimated Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng was trying to kill the 3 Palace Lords as quickly as possible. Eye of Illusion. Zhao Feng's eye bloodline circulated once again. Plop! On the other side, true Lord Tiexiao's body was drenched in cold sweat, and he fell to the ground exhausted. Chapter 465. Central Plaza. Life and death were decided in an instant. Everything happened too quickly. It was so fast that the Broken Moon clan couldn't react in time. In just a few breaths, of the three Palace Kings, Palace King Bai Ji died on the spot. True Lord Tai Xiao lost his ability to fight and laid on the ground with a face full of fear and disbelief. Only the 8 at the True Spirit Realm, Lin Tong, and a few others could see the entire process clearly. Everyone's mouths were open. This scene made many experts feel as if they had lost their souls. Those from the Iron Dragon Alliance felt their hearts go cold. In the blink of an eye, of the 3 Palace Lords, one was dead and one was defeated. Palace Lord Bai Ji's death was unbearable, and she couldn't fight back at all. True Lord Tiexiao's defeat was even more unacceptable. Thinking back, True Lord Tai Xiao had forced the elders of the 12 clans to sign a blood contract. How powerful was he? It could be said that True Lord Tiexiao's strength was deeply engraved into the hearts of the 13 clans. However, under Zhao Feng's lightning-fast attacks, True Lord Tai Xiao didn't even have the chance to attack. Defeated? How was this possible? True Lord Tai Xiao couldn't believe it, and even suspected that he was dreaming. How could someone who stood at the peak of the cloud area be defeated like this? Not only him, but many experts present, including Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, Lin Tong, and the members of the Broken Moon clan, felt as if they were dreaming. This can't be real. Clan Master Haiyun's handsome face twisted as his nails dug into his flesh. The pain brought him back to reality. On the peak of the mountain, is this real? First Elder felt that this wasn't real. His trembling hand reached toward his disciple, but didn't dare to touch him. He was afraid that everything in front of him was just an illusion. Zhao Feng stood next to the Grand Elder, a warm smile on his face as he monitored the battle from afar. A head-on battle between True Lord ranks will destroy the Broken Moon clan. This is also the simplest way to end the battle quickly. Zhao Feng nodded his head with his hands behind his back. He didn't participate in the battle. Zhao Feng was already out of the picture during the period of the illusory city maze. Through the god's spiritual eye, Zhao Feng controlled the battle from afar and instantly finished off the 2 Palace Kings. At this moment, the 2 dark silver ghost corpses leapt towards the last palace. Lord Yulong victory was so close. Palace Lord Yulong couldn't help but exclaim in shock. In the blink of an eye, one of the 2 palace lords beside him had died, and the other had been defeated. He didn't think that Zhao Feng's 2 dark silver ghost corpses had such a terrifying poison that even True Lord ranks couldn't resist. Because of this, Palace Queen Bai Ji died instantly. As for True Lord Tai Xiao, with his early stage True Lord rank mental energy level, he wasn't able to block Zhao Feng's eye bloodline technique. You should know, Zhao Feng's mental energy level was slightly stronger than normal late-stage True Lord ranks, and his soul had even surpassed the peak True Lord rank. Normally, those whose mental energy level was lower than his could only be crushed by his eye bloodline. Retreat. Take Palace Lord Tai Xiao away. Palace Lord Yulong took a deep breath, and the black scales on his body started to glow with a wong sound. Ding ding pong. The attacks of the 2 dark silver ghost corpses landed on Palace Lord Yulong's body, and sparks flew, but they weren't able to break through his defense. One had to know. The claws of the 2 ghost corpses had been strengthened by Zhao Feng and were extremely sharp. Furthermore, after leaving the Purple Saint ruins, the 2 dark silver poison corpses were put into the 10,000 ghost pearl and were strengthened by some ghost out treasures. Palace Lord, we're here. A few core elders rushed over to receive them without any regard for their own safety. Their goal was obviously to protect Palace Lord Yulong and take True Lord Tai Xiao away. In the air, Lin Tong hesitated and didn't know if he should help Zhao Feng or the Iron Dragon Alliance. Suddenly, his heart shook as he looked bitterly at Zhao Feng. Zhao Feng had a smile that wasn't a smile as he watched everything unfold. He didn't forget about Lin Tong. Scarlet Demon Moon Eye. Lin Tong gritted his teeth and circulated his eye bloodline to kill some of the core elders present. Although the Iron Dragon Alliance and Scarlet Moon demonic religion were extremely powerful, Zhao Feng only needed a thought to kill him. Meow meow. A silver and gray thieving cat appeared on the central center square. Shua. A silver-striped silver blood whip wrapped around the crippled, true Lord Tai Xiao. This Zhao Feng, why doesn't he kill me? True Lord Tai Xiao didn't panic even though he was tied up. In terms of strength, there wasn't much difference between True Lord Tai Xiao and Palace Lord Bai Ji. If Zhao Feng wanted to kill him, the little thieving cat, the dark silver ghost corpse, or Lin Tong could easily finish him off. However, it was obvious that Zhao Feng didn't plan to kill True Lord Tai Xiao immediately. At this point in time, the situation was completely under Zhao Feng's control. Palace Lord Yulong was being furiously attacked by the two dark silver ghost corpses while Zhao Feng's eye bloodline pressured him from afar. The little thieving cat captured True Lord Tai Xiao alive while Lin Tong killed some of the core elders. The 3 palace lords and 10 core elders of the Iron Dragon Alliance instantly crumbled and collapsed. The entire Broken Moon clan saw this sudden change, and they were all dumbstruck. How can this be? The 3 leaders of the Iron Dragon Alliance weren't even his match. Clan Master Haiyun's face was filled with shock. The instantaneous reversal in front of him was beyond the limits of his calculations. As I thought, this was just Zhao Feng's bait. His true goal was to kill the upper echelon palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Bei Moi suppressed the shock in his heart and analyzed everything. In this game, from start to finish, he or Yun Hai had played a small role. At this moment, the suspense of the battle was gone. Occasionally, a core elder would charge into the central center square and try to save True Lord Tai Xiao. Shua. A shadow of a dagger flashed in the air and disappeared. Blood spurted from the throat of the top 3 core elder, and he fell to the ground dead. Meow meow. The little thieving cat returned to True Lord Tai Xiao's shoulder and quickly put away the dark, transparent dagger. With a paw, True Lord Tai Xiao was slapped by the little thieving cat before he could even catch his breath. At least 4 or 5 of the 10 core elders had been killed by Lin Tong and the little thieving cat. The remaining core elders either ran away or fought with Palace Lord Yulong. This Palace Lord Yulong's strength is stronger than the Blood Corpse Protector and might even be close to Yi Yinyu's level. Zhao Feng's God Spiritual eye surveyed the battle. With the 2 dark silver ghost corpses' battle power, it was extremely hard to break through Palace Lord Yulong's defense. Palace Lord Yulong's cultivation had reached the late stage True Lord rank, and his bloodline power had increased his body, power, and defense. If it was a head-on clash, neither Zhao Feng nor the 2 dark silver ghost corpses would be able to beat Palace Lord Yulong. Through his profound insight, Zhao Feng found that Palace Lord Yulong was still saving some strength to deal with his eye bloodline technique. Looks like it'll be hard to kill this Palace Lord Yulong. Zhao Feng didn't approach rashly. In a head-on battle, Zhao Feng didn't have any advantage, especially since he hadn't reached the True Lord rank yet. On the other hand, the 2 dark silver ghost corpses had strong defense and were suitable as meat shields. Furthermore, there were 2 other reasons. One was that the internal situation of the Broken Moon clan hadn't stabilized yet. 2 was that a True Lord rank battle would affect the Broken Moon clan. Wind lightning, eye flame. Zhao Feng's left eye suddenly turned azure. Bam! A half-transparent flame of wind and lightning landed on Palace Lord Yulong's body and pierced through both the physical and mental energy dimensions. Palace Lord Yulong's figure shook as the flame of wind and lightning wreaked havoc on his body and even seeped into his soul. Dark demonic dragon scale body. Palace Lord Yulong let out a roar that was like the sound of hell. In that instant, a layer of dark scales condensed on the surface of his body, fusing with the black scales on his body. His aura exploded, as though a demonic dragon had appeared. Bam! Bam! Palace Lord Yulong waved his arms and sent the 2 dark silver ghost corpses flying. It was hard to imagine his terrifying battle power. Zhao Feng's pupils constricted. After Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline power was opened, apart from offense, all other aspects were on par with Yi Yinyu's, and some of them were even slightly better. On top of that, the black horn on Palace Lord Yulong's head flashed with dark purple lightning. It had a strong resistance to the lightning element within the wind lightning eye flame and could absorb it to a certain extent. What a strong bloodline. Palace Lord Yulong is indeed worthy of being the head of the 4 Palace Lords. Zhao Feng's expression became solemn. Even if the Blood Corpse, Tai Xiao, and Bai Ji teamed up, they might not be as strong as Palace Lord Yulong. Zhao Feng's strongest attack, the Wind Lightning Eye Flame, didn't do much damage to Palace Lord Yulong. After all, I haven't reached the True Lord rank yet, and my comprehension of the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet is limited. The Wind Lightning True Fire in my body still has room to grow. Zhao Feng's thoughts spun. This was the first time he had met such a strong opponent after returning to the cloud area. Of course, if the battle continued, Zhao Feng still had a chance to make Palace Lord Yulong stay. This was because Palace Lord Yulong used his bloodline to increase his battle power. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had 2 True Lord rank ghost corpses that didn't know exhaustion. However, the mess left behind by the Broken Moon clan made it impossible for Zhao Feng to continue chasing. I have an 80 to 90% chance of escaping when my bloodline power explodes. I might even have the chance to kill Zhao Feng. Palace Lord Yulong's eyes were filled with coldness. He obviously knew that Zhao Feng might not be able to stop him in a head-on battle. At this moment, the gazes of Zhao Feng and the retreating Palace Lord Yulong met for a brief moment. Mockery appeared on Zhao Feng's face. I have ice soul. Zhao Feng's left eye turned ice cold and entered Palace Lord Yulong's consciousness. Instantly, Palace Lord Yulong's thoughts and actions became abnormally slow. Bam! Bam! The attacks from the 2 dark silver ghost corpses became fiercer and fiercer. This was only because Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline was extremely strong. Normal True Lord ranks wouldn't be able to last more than a few breaths. Damn it! The element of my bloodline has changed multiple times during the battle. Palace Lord Yulong's thoughts of killing Zhao Feng were instantly shattered. Right at this moment, Zhao Feng's eye bloodline turned azure once again. A wisp of a piercingly cold and shocking azure glow arose within his azure pupils, and it was like a shapeless azure blade. Chapter 466. The coldness around Palace Lord Yulong's body hadn't dissipated yet. He suddenly felt a piercing coldness, as if an invisible sword had cut into his body. He instinctively glanced at the youth on the peak. In that instant, the youth's hair turned green, and his left eye suddenly flashed with a sharp green luster. Shwa! A sharp wind pierced through the air. When Palace Lord Yulong heard this sound, pain came from the side of his thigh. Shwa! A half-transparent blade of wind sliced through the dark scales on Palace Lord Yulong's body like an invisible blade. How? How can he break through my dark demonic dragon scales and dark striped demonic clothes? Palace Lord Yulong's expression changed dramatically. One could see how strong Palace Lord Yulong's defense was from the frenzied attacks of the 2 dark silver ghost corpses. In terms of defense, Palace Lord Yulong was one of the best amongst the True Lord ranks, and was almost undefeatable against those under the Origin Core realm. However, the illusory lightning blade used his bloodline power as the source, and was released through his eye bloodline. Its attack speed was lightning fast and exceeded normal physical attacks. This form of attack wasn't physical or soul, and could even ignore normal defense. For example, normal defense could be ignored by Zhao Feng's mental energy technique. On the other hand, this Azure Demonic Blade was more of a physical attack. Although it couldn't completely ignore normal defense, it could cut through the opponent's defense. This eye bloodline technique is similar to Tuoba Chi's Heavenly Piercing Eye. Baimwa, who was in the central square, paused. After all, he had participated in the sacred True Dragon Gathering and had seen Tuoba Chi's Heavenly Piercing Eye. However, The azure demonic blade that Zhao Feng used had surpassed Tuoba Chi's heavenly piercing eye in terms of power. However, his opponent this time was also extremely strong. Zhao Feng's attack was aimed at the weakest point of Palace Lord Yulong's defense and should have double the damage. On top of that, the invisible sharpness from his eye bloodline could ignore normal defenses. Even so, Palace Lord Yulong's defense was barely broken, and a bloody wound appeared on the side of his thigh. Thankfully, Zhao Feng didn't think that he could kill or heavily injure Palace Lord Yulong like this. This is the chance. Zhao Feng's expression became serious as his god's spiritual eye entered a powerful control state. He controlled the two dark silver ghost corpses to attack the side of Palace Lord Yulong's thighs. Crack! One of the dark silver ghost corpses took a palm and a kick from Palace Lord Yulong head-on. A crack appeared on its body, and it almost fell apart. However, the corpse didn't know how to feel pain and continued to attack Palace Lord Yulong chi. The other dark silver ghost corpse grabbed the air and started to attack, tearing at Palace Lord Yulong's leg that had been cut open. The wound on Palace Lord Yulong's thigh hadn't even healed yet when it was cut by the poison corpses. Under Zhao Feng's control, the two poisoned corpses cooperated seamlessly. This, not good. Palace Lord Yulong roared. His hoarse voice was filled with fear and uneasiness. The instant the dark silver ghost corpse tore open his skin, an indescribable poison spread throughout his body and killed all signs of life. In just one breath, Palace Lord Yulong's face turned purple and black. His body wasn't feeling well, and he couldn't use his bloodline power. Moreover, he possessed a powerful and unique bloodline physique that leaned towards the dark attribute, which made him very resistant to poison. If it was true Lord Taishao or Palace Lord Bai Ji, they would be able to kill him instantly. At this moment, Palace Lord Yulong finally understood why Palace Lord Bai Ji had died so quickly and miserably. The poison in Zhao Feng's two dark silver ghost corpses was enough to threaten true Lord ranks. Most true Lord ranks wouldn't even be able to fight back. At the critical moment, Palace Lord Yulong ignited his bloodline and almost burned his chi of true spirit to resist the poison. However, his resistance didn't have much effect. The poison of the dark silver ghost corpses didn't just come from the ancient scorpion. It also came from the earth-ean poison mushroom. Merging with his own poison, it had a nightmarish effect on life. Crack! Palace Lord Yulong let out a soul-shaking roar and gritted his teeth as he ripped off his poison leg. Blood and flesh splattered everywhere. When the leg was separated from the body, 70% of the poison had been cut off. After this step, Palace Lord Yulong barely managed to keep his life. His face was purple and his aura was weak. Palace Lord Yulong didn't dare to stay any longer, and he circulated his remaining bloodline power and burned his chi of true spirit to turn into a dark beam of light that shot through the clouds. Sky Moon Mountain. Everyone in the Broken Moon clan felt their hearts go cold as they saw Palace Lord Yulong cut off his own leg. Even Boss Yulong lost. The captured true Lord Tiexiao's face was pale white, and his heart was filled with bitterness and helplessness. Of the four Palace Lords, Palace Lord Yulong had the highest cultivation and the strongest bloodline. He could be said to be number one in the Cloud area. It was hard to imagine. The number one figure of the Iron Dragon Alliance was forced to cut off his own leg in order to escape. On the peak of the mountain, he even got away like this. Zhao Feng was slightly surprised as he watched Palace Lord Yulong escape. The main reason was that Palace Lord Yulong's bloodline was stronger than he had expected. His bloodline seemed to be connected to the ancient demonic dragon's bloodline. Zhao Feng wanted to chase, but he didn't have the strength to do so. After so many battles, the tiredness of his left eye appeared once again. Palace Lord Yulong's cultivation had reached the late stages of the True Lord rank, and his speed made Zhao Feng feel helpless. Zhao Feng had just circulated the chi of true spirit within his body when he suddenly felt a weird feeling. Zhao Feng found that the chi of true spirit within his body gave off the sound of wind and lightning. It gave off a chaotic aura that pressured him and made him feel like his chi of true spirit was about to explode. His expression turned to joy. His cultivation had reached the point of breaking through to the true Lord rank. This meant that, as long as Zhao Feng wanted to, he could break through to the true Lord rank at any time without much resistance. At this point, Zhao Feng could only give up on chasing Palace Lord Yulong. However, Zhao Feng couldn't let go of a powerful opponent like Palace Lord Yulong, who Zhao Feng took a light breath and opened his god's spiritual eye, turning it into the Darkwater state. Ripples flowed in his blue, translucent left eye, and a mysterious swirl appeared inside. In the end, a dark blue dot of light appeared and flashed in the air with an obscure mental wave. At the same time, Palace Lord Yulong, who had escaped 1,000 miles away, felt a weird, uneasy feeling. What did I feel just now? Palace Lord Yulong's body felt as if something was sticking to it. In just an instant. However, at this moment, he had been poisoned and had lost an arm. Enduring the poison, he used a secret technique and the feeling disappeared. 1,000 miles away, in the Broken Moon clan. I'll let you go this time, but the mark of the god's eye left on you with my god's spiritual eye is extremely faint and hard to erase. A cold smile appeared on Zhao Feng's face. The mark of the gods eye was a mental energy mark that could even be used by those at the true human rank. However, Zhao Feng's mark of the gods eye was built on the foundation of the Tao of the soul and contained profound eye bloodline techniques. When he used the mark of the god eye, he would expend his soul and eye bloodline power to imprint a special mark on the target. It was extremely precise, obscure, and difficult to sense. It would also be very difficult to erase using normal methods. Unless the opponent's cultivation was higher than Zhao Feng's, or they had researched the Tao of the soul or mental energy techniques, it would be hard to erase the mark in a short amount of time. Once the mark of the gods eye was completed, Zhao Feng would be able to sense the approximate location of the target, even if they were far away. After all of this, Zhao Feng's gaze turned back to the battlefield of the Broken Moon clan. The upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan, including Clan Master Hai Yun and the Regulations Elder, tried to escape several times. This was especially so when Zhao Feng was chasing after Palace Lord Yulong Clan Master Hai Yun and company tried to break out of the Broken Moon clan once or twice. However, Lin Tong and the little thieving cat wouldn't allow this to happen. Meow meow. Shua. Shua. The little thieving cat's figure flashed in the air. Every time it appeared out of thin air, it would be accompanied by a wave of its claws, and loud slapping sounds could be heard. Central Plaza. Our Clan Master Hai Yun and the other upper echelon members had fiery paw prints left on their faces. Although the little thieving cat's strength wasn't its forte, its paw attacks contained a mysterious, dizzying effect. Those at the true spirit realm that were hit by the paw would have their faces swollen up and feel the world spin around them. Hee, everyone seems to be having fun. A light laugh came from a distant mountain. At this moment, the battle between Zhao Feng and the 3 palace kings had come to an end. Of the 3 palace lords, one was dead, one was captured, and one was crippled. As soon as the words were said, on the central square, the entire Broken Moon clan fell into dead silence. Sect Master Hai Yun and company, who were planning to escape, all stiffened and their hearts shook. Many gazes looked up at the smiling, blue-haired youth with his hands behind his back. Their hearts were filled with awe and respect. In the process of defeating the 3 palace lords, this youth had been watching from afar and didn't participate in the battle. Shua! Shua! The 2 dark silver ghost corpses suddenly split into 2. They were responsible for killing those that tried to escape, including the remaining members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. Arg! The dark silver ghost corpses had the battle power of the true Lord rank and had the throat-sealing poison under the Origin Core realm. They could take a life with just a flash. The Core Elders were instantly killed by the dark silver poison corpses in an instant. At this moment, the situation was completely under Zhao Feng's control. Clan Master Hai Yun, the Regulations Elder, and company had ashen expressions. One or two of the upper echelon members fell to the ground with a plop and peed their pants. Chapter 467. Under Zhao Feng's gaze, the entire Broken Moon clan was obedient and didn't move. Clan Master Haiyun, the Regulations Elder, and the remaining members of the Iron Dragon Alliance were filled with fear and helplessness. Half the time it took to make Tia go. Who would have thought that this youth would be able to control the situation by himself? The three palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance, legendary figures that stood at the peak of the cloud area, had been instantly defeated by this youth. One dead, one captured, and one crippled. As for the other 10 core elders, almost none of them returned. They were completely annihilated. In less than half the time it took to make tea, this youth had used godlike methods to suppress everyone. All of this sounded like a legend. It could even be said that everyone present was witnessing a legend. Halfway up the mountain, not long after Yang Gan's group entered the clan, they didn't even have the time to hand in the first mission out of the 49, but the situation in the Broken Moon clan had already changed. No, it wasn't just the situation in the Broken Moon clan. The situation in the 13 countries, and even the entire cloud area would change. Yang Gan, Lin Fan, Ran Xiaoyuan, Yang Qingshan and company felt like they were dreaming. In just the time it took for them to take a nap, Clan Master Haiyun's era had come to an end. Brother Zhao is too strong. He defeated the 3 palace lords with just one hand. I can't believe it. Haha, we can finally escape from our predicament. Even that bastard Clan Master Haiyun can have such a day. We almost blamed Brother Zhao wrongly. Some of the disciples were overjoyed and excited, mixed with a tinge of shame. Cheers came from the silent Broken Moon clan. Most of them were from the bottom disciples. Some of the middle and upper echelons, such as Old Zhang and Old Guan, were full of pride and joy. First Elder, you have no regrets in your life to be able to take in such a disciple. Granny Louis West smiled comfortingly, but there was also a hint of envy in her eyes. In the hall, First Elder took a deep breath as he looked at his disciple. He finally reached out and patted Zhao Feng's shoulder. Feng, I knew that you would return to the Broken Moon clan one day, but I didn't think it would be so soon. First Elder couldn't help but sigh. The master and disciple had reunited, so there was bound to be a lot of things to talk about, and they could not be finished in a short while. First Elder was extremely curious about Zhao Feng's fortuitous encounter, but he didn't immediately ask. He understood that there were still many problems waiting for Zhao Feng to resolve. After a while, Zhao Feng and the Grand Elder landed on W Square side by side. Head Elder had a big smile on his face as he looked at Sect Master Haiyun. Sect Master Haiyun's face was red and swollen. His expression was gloomy and full of resentment. His eyes flickered, giving off the illusion that he was plotting something. Zhao Feng didn't pay much attention to Sect Master Haiyun. On this day, the two of them felt as if their identities had been swapped. In Zhao Feng's eyes, Sect Master Haiyun was no different from an ant. He could kill him with a flick of his finger. True Lord Tai Xiao. Zhao Feng's gaze landed on True Lord Tai Xiao, who was now a prisoner. Even today, the hearts of the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan shook when True Lord Tai Xiao was mentioned. Back then, True Lord Tai Xiao was extremely powerful when he dominated the 13 clans. Zhao Feng, I know what you want. You want the blood contract that the 12 clans signed back then. True Lord Tai Xiao's expression was calm. After all, he was a true lord rank that stood at the peak of the cloud area. He regained his calmness and found a way to live. Why didn't Zhao Feng kill him? True Lord Tai Xiao didn't doubt that Zhao Feng had the ability to kill him back then, and his outcome would have been the same as Palace Lore by G. Since Zhao Feng didn't kill him, it must be because he had some value. True Lord Tai Xiao thought for a moment and had an answer. That was the Blood Pact. Back then, all the elders of the 12 clans were forced to sign the blood contract by True Lord Tai Xiao. The blood contract was a power that was witnessed by the heavens and earth, and it was extremely binding. Once the elders of the 12 clans joined the Iron Dragon clan, they couldn't go against it. This binding power was so strong that even if Zhao Feng returned to the Broken Moon clan, First Elder, and company wouldn't be able to help him. True Lord Taishao, you're very smart. Where's the blood contract? Zhao Feng nodded his head in admiration. He didn't like to beat around the bush. If true Lord Taishao cooperated, he would consider giving him a chance to live. I've placed the blood contract in a secret location. If you can promise not to kill or injure me, then I'll give it to you. True Lord Taishao said solemnly. Is that so? How do I make sure you don't play any tricks? Zhao Feng was doubtful. He soon gave the little thieving cat a look. Meow meow. The little thieving cat's figure flashed and disappeared. True Lord Taishao was speechless. A few breaths later, his expression changed as he looked at the interspatial ring in his hand. Shua! Meow meow! The little thieving cat appeared once more and took out an ancient scroll covered in blood. How is this possible? True Lord Taishao finally started to panic in disbelief. He had clearly hidden the blood contract in a hidden corner. How did the little thieving cat find it? Zhao Feng laughed as he opened the blood contract and nodded his head. The contents of the blood contract indicated that it was signed between the 12 sects and the Iron Dragon Alliance. It wasn't weird that true Lord Taishao carried the blood contract with him. After all, he was one of the 4 pillars of the Alliance, and the 13 countries weren't that important in the Cloud area. According to ancient records, this blood contract was created by the Heaven's Legacy race, and it was very popular in ancient times. Even now, this kind of contract scroll is rather rare, let alone a blank blood contract scroll. Zhao Feng gently touched the blood contract. Shua! An arc of lightning appeared in his hand, and the blood contract scroll instantly turned into ashes. First Elder and the other elders of the Broken Moon clan revealed joyful expressions. Now that the blood contract had been destroyed, the power of the oath no longer existed. On the contrary, true Lord Tiexiao's face was gray and cold sweat appeared on his forehead. In Zhao Feng's view, the only value he could excavate had vanished into thin air. I'll give you 10 breaths to think before I take action. Zhao Feng was planning to kill true Lord Taishao, but now he wanted to squeeze out more value from true Lord Taishao. 10 breaths? True Lord Tiexiao's heart went cold and his breathing quickened. He could clearly see the killing intent that flashed through Zhao Feng's eyes. True Lord Taishao didn't doubt that Zhao Feng would kill a true lord without any hesitation. His instincts weren't wrong. In the Purple Saint ruins, many true lord ranks had died directly or indirectly to Zhao Feng. 7. The Broken Moon clan's jaws dropped as they watched Zhao Feng decide the life and death of a true lord rank. True Lord Tiexiao's thoughts spun, and he gritted his teeth. Wait. Remember, you only have one chance. Zhao Feng smiled faintly. True Lord Taishao took a deep breath and took out a blank blood contract scroll from his interspatial ring. Very good. You succeeded. Zhao Feng's eyes lit up. True Lord Taishao wasn't surprised. No one could resist the power of a true lord rank, even if Zhao Feng could easily kill one. A while later, Zhao Feng and true Lord Taishao signed a blood contract in front of everyone. The signing of a blood contract usually required both parties to make an oath. Only then could it be established. The content of the contract was, true Lord Taishao became the Broken Moon clan's mountain guardian and had the duty to protect the Broken Moon clan. He couldn't betray or disobey, etc. On the other hand, Zhao Feng had to promise that he wouldn't harm true Lord Taishao for no reason and would even protect him when the latter was in danger. After signing the blood contract, Zhao Feng put the scroll away. True Lord Tiexiao's heart was heavy. The chances of him taking back the blood contract from an expert like Zhao Feng was extremely small. Furthermore, as time passed, this chance would become infinitely smaller. Zhao Feng was an overwhelming prodigy that had crossed dozens of generations in the Azure Flower continent. His future was immeasurable. When true Lord Taishao signed the blood contract and submitted to the Broken Moon clan, the hearts of Clan Master Haiyun and company dropped. Zhao Feng, we can also sign a blood contract and forever serve you. The regulations elder said in a trembling voice. Shua, Zhao Feng swiped his hand, and a blade of lightning sliced the regulation's elder in half. I don't care about your value. The calm and warm voice echoed in the dubby square. The group led by Clan Master Haiyun trembled in fear, and some even peed their pants. Zhao Feng's gaze landed on a silent figure. Brother Baimois. If you want to kill me, do whatever you want. Baimois had a bitter expression. Brother Baimois, you should know that I won't kill you, even if you betrayed Master in the past. Zhao Feng said calmly. Baimois' expression froze. He had guessed that Zhao Feng might let him live because they were from the same clan. Of course, there's a condition. Zhao Feng's tone changed. What condition? Baimois let out a breath. I want you to kill Yun Hai with your own hands and take his head to Lord Guanjuan as an apology. Zhao Feng said emotionlessly. Zhao Feng, how dare you? Clan Master Haiyun roared with hatred. Ha! Just as he was about to go crazy, he was hit by a cat claw and felt dizzy. The people from the Broken Moon clan were stunned. Why did Zhao Feng want Baimois to kill Yun Hai instead of Yun Hai? But those who knew the truth soon guessed the reason. Firstly, Baimois was Clan Master Haiyun's most talented disciple. For Yun Hai to die at the hands of his most outstanding disciple, what kind of mockery and humiliation was this? Secondly, it involved the enmity between Clan Master Haiyun and Lord Guanjuan. Yun Hai had taken away Lord Guanjuan's beloved, humiliated the latter, and even took away Baimois' disciple. And now, Zhao Feng wanted Baimois to personally kill Yun Hai and bring his head to Lord Guanjuan. In this way, all grudges and karma would be resolved in a relatively balanced manner. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Fine, I'll do it. Baimois didn't even think as a dark sword appeared in his hand, and with a shuqi, Clan Master Haiyun's head was cut off. In terms of cultivation, there wasn't much of a difference between Baimois and Clan Master Haiyun. But Clan Master Haiyun had been hit by the little thieving cat's paw, and before he could react, his head had already been chopped off. Baimois' actions were quick and decisive, as if he didn't even need to think. Chapter 468. Between killing his master and surviving, Baimois' choice was decisive, without any hesitation or reluctance. Haiyun Master's eyes bulged out in disbelief before he died. This Baimois is so cold-blooded. He killed his master with his own hands? Umph. This isn't the first time he's betrayed us. He's just a coward. The entire Broken Moon clan discussed Baimois' actions with disdain and condemnation. Zhao Feng couldn't help but think about it. Seeing Baimois kill Haiyun Master, everyone wrapped the latter's head in a bag. Brother Zhao, Baimois is a traitor. If we let him go so easily, he'll probably... Some of the older generation and familiar disciples of the Broken Moon clan couldn't help but worry. Let him go. Zhao Feng didn't say anything more. First Elder smiled faintly and told Baimois to leave. After Zhao Feng left the Broken Moon clan, First Elder had made arrangements for everyone, including his parents and Lord Guanjuan. This was the prerequisite for Zhao Feng to leave safely. Zhao Feng was grateful for First Elder's preparations. At this moment, looking at First Elder's empty arm, Zhao Feng's heart felt sour and guilty. Since Master is missing an arm, I'll work together with Taigon Master to create a simplified version of the Wheel of Light and Darkness. Zhao Feng made up his mind. The blueprint of the Wheel of Light and Darkness came from the Heaven's Legacy inheritance, and it could transform into an arm, a shield, and a metal wheel. It was obviously very suitable for someone like First Elder who had lost an arm. Next, the Broken Moon clan still needed to be cleaned up. Clan Master Haiyun and the Regulations Elder had died, and their biggest enemies had been killed. However, there were still many trusted subordinates of Clan Master Haiyun and even some of the Iron Dragon Alliance's spies. Zhao Feng left these matters to First Elder, Granny Luiyue, Yang Gan, and company to handle. On the same day, the Broken Moon clan started a small cleansing and killed almost 100 people from the elders to the disciples. This was only because First Elder was merciful. Otherwise, the majority of the Broken Moon clan's members would have been hard to destroy. It was undeniable. In the past 2 years, The Broken Moon clan's strength had increased under Clan Master Hyen's management, and it could be ranked within the top 5 of the 13 clans. Feng, now that Yunhai is dead, the Broken Moon clan still lacks a clan master. Do you have any suggestions or candidates? The first elder asked. Zhao Feng thought for a moment and came up with a candidate. It was senior brother Yangong. On the other hand, Yangong was very popular and was the former head disciple. His talent, strength, and abilities were all not bad. Now that Yangong had returned from the sacred True Dragon gathering, breaking through to the True Spirit realm was only a matter of time. Yangong is indeed a good choice, but his cultivation isn't enough. The first elder also agreed. He could confirm that Zhao Feng wasn't interested in the position of clan master. The entire cloud area probably couldn't contain a big fish like him. I have some resources and spiritual pills from the inheritances and geniuses from the outside world. It's enough to create several true spirit realms. Master, do as you see fit. Zhao Feng took out some resources from the ancient metal ring and gave them to the first elder. Many of these treasures were extinct in the Azure Flower Continent, but they didn't count for much in the eyes of a 2-star sect. Any random disciple in a 2-star sect was at the true mystic rank or even the true lord rank. From this, one could see how rich they were. 3 days later, the Broken Moon clan regained its peace and returned to normal. Zhao Feng himself entered seclusion and prepared to break through to the true lord rank. Although breaking through to the true lord rank won't increase my strength by leaps and bounds, my foundation will become stronger. Zhao Feng closed his eyes and slowly circulated his qi of true spirit. At this moment, Zhao Feng's cultivation was even stronger than those at the late stages of the true lord rank. The most terrifying thing was his soul power. It almost surpassed the 3 heavens of the true spirit realm, and probably only sovereigns could beat him. This was all because of the wood spirit essence soul, which gave Zhao Feng a lot of benefits. With such a powerful soul, it would be hard for Zhao Feng's mental energy level not to increase. Once his mental energy level increased, his cultivation speed would increase by leaps and bounds would be much smoother. In a solitary hall on Heavenly Moon Mountain, Zhao Feng sat down cross-legged with his eyes closed. The source of true spirit within his body was like jade and had arcs of lightning crackling around it. Once I reach the true Lord rank, my source of true spirit will expand. Before that, if I can comprehend and integrate more of the Wind Thunder Ancient Tablet's essence, the increase in my strength will be even more obvious after I advance. Zhao Feng wasn't in a rush to break through. If he wanted to break through, he could try at any time. However, Zhao Feng wanted to refine his qi of true spirit before his source of true spirit expanded and merged the elements of the wind lightning into it. Not long after, Zhao Feng's consciousness merged into the tattered world of wind lightning within the wind lightning stone tablet. Swoosh! Most of the areas within the dilapidated intense space were dark and devoid of light, and it was filled with raging lightning and storms. Furthermore, the colors and styles of the wind and lightning were different. For example, the wind in front of Zhao Feng's consciousness was faint azure, colorless, faint blue, purple, and even gold. The colors of the lightning were also different. Amongst them, the most terrifying was the dark gold wind lightning, which was located in the depths of the world of wind lightning. At Zhao Feng's current level, he couldn't comprehend the Wind Lightning Emperor's true power. Faint, azure, purple, scarlet gold, dark gold. Zhao Feng sensed a few. Amongst them, the faint aura was the weakest and was suitable for those below the true spirit realm. Azure was Zhao Feng's current level and was a dark azure. The next step for Zhao Feng was the purple wind lightning, which could be comprehended by those at the origin core realm, and those at the true lord rank could barely comprehend it. I'll first refine the pure dark azure wind lightning before turning it into the purple wind lightning. Zhao Feng had a rough direction. He estimated that if he could successfully cultivate the purple wind lightning, he would be able to dominate the continent. If he could comprehend the scarlet wind lightning, he would be invincible in the continent and would be considered an expert even in the outside world. As for the highest gold and dark gold, that was a level that only the Wind Lightning Emperor could reach. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. Zhao Feng's consciousness entered the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet and focused on cultivating. Over the past few days, the air above the hall was filled with howling wind and crackling thunder. That area would sometimes be filled with dark clouds and sometimes a gust of wind that could push back all the true human rank experts within a mile. Those at the true spirit realm on the Sky Moon Mountain could feel the chaotic flow of heaven-earth yuan qi, and the pressure made their hearts beat faster. That Zhao Feng hasn't reached the true Lord rank, but his mental energy level far surpasses normal True Lord ranks. True Lord Tai Xiao, who was guarding the mountain, had a solemn heart and felt more respect and wariness toward Zhao Feng. He was still puzzled. With Zhao Feng's mental energy level, why hadn't he broken through to the True Lord rank yet? Indeed, Zhao Feng's situation was slightly special. First, in the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Feng didn't have much time and was surrounded by enemies. After returning to the cloud area, his left eye changed. Luckily, the god's spiritual eye's change had stabilized, and he could enter seclusion without worry. However, Zhao Feng's preparations before entering seclusion were extremely complicated. Before breaking through to the true spirit realm, Zhao Feng changed the element of his source of true spirit. Before, Zhao Feng's source of true spirit was mainly wind. However, after comprehending the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet in the Purple Saint ruins, his cultivation had started to merge the element of wind into it. What's this Zhao Feng planning? According to logic, there shouldn't be any difficulty for him to break through to the True Lord rank in 1 or 2 days. True Lord Tai Xiao inspected the changes in the heaven-earth yuan qi above the Sky Moon Mountain. In the air, the Wind Lightning yuan qi was extremely active and restless. When the 20th day arrived, a whirlpool of wind and lightning formed in the air above Zhao Feng's hall and contained the aura of a True Lord rank. This True Lord rank aura has already surpassed the early stage True Lord rank, but he still hasn't broken through. True Lord Tiexiao's mouth gaped open. He found that the aura of wind, lightning in the air was becoming more profound and immeasurable. The inheritance Zhao Feng had chosen came from an emperor, and his speed wasn't something the inheritances of the Azure Flower Continent could compare to. At the same time, while Zhao Feng was in seclusion, the situation in the Broken Moon clan and even the 13 clans changed. The Broken Moon clan's master changed the situation in the Cloud Country. On the 5th day of Zhao Feng's seclusion, the members of the Dragon Killing Alliance heard the news and rushed over. The news that Zhao Feng had returned to the Cloud area spread across the 13 countries and even to the 2 strong countries. 3 palace lords of the Iron Dragon clan had been defeated by a legendary star. This news shook the 13 countries and swept across the Cloud area like a tornado. Zhao Feng's name shook the 13 clans. Both the experts of the older generation and the younger ones could only look up to him. Due to Zhao Feng's existence, the Cloud Country and the 13 countries became the base of the Dragon Killing Alliance. The Dragon Killing Alliance's forces quickly moved towards the 13 countries, and their forces quickly expanded. In the past, in the Cloud area, the Iron Dragon Alliance controlled the sky with one hand, and the 4 palace lords could control the world. Many forces and countries were angry but didn't dare to say anything. But now, the situation was completely different. Zhao Feng had defeated 3 palace lords, and apparently, he had defeated 4 palace lords by himself. He had crushed the Iron Dragon Alliance's morale. Those forces that were unhappy with the Iron Dragon Alliance, including enemies, all joined the Dragon Killing Alliance. At this point in time, the Broken Moon clan became the core of the Dragon Killing Alliance. Although Zhao Feng was in seclusion and didn't care about the outside world, he had become the soul of the Cloud area against the Iron Dragon Alliance. During this time, many experts came from thousands of miles away to visit Zhao Feng, but they were all rejected by the Broken Moon clan. On this day, another piece of news came from the 13 countries. The number one clan of the 13 clans, the Cloud Sword clan, had changed owners. After Zhao Feng, another peerless genius of the sword had returned to the Cloud area. Chapter 469. Cloud Sword Clan. Between the lofty mountains shrouded in clouds and mist stood tall towers and pavilions, like a row of giant swords that pierced through the clouds. Amongst them, a sword-shaped pavilion stood out like a crane in a flock of chickens. It was simple and profound, and it faintly emitted a sword aura that shot into the heavens. At this moment, the sacred land of the Cloud Word sect called the Sword Pavilion was covered in blood that flowed like a river, and piercingly cold sword chi tore through the horizon. In front of the Sword Pavilion, Ark, an elder at the True Spirit Realm, screamed as the sword in his hand fell to the ground with a clang, and he fell into a pool of blood. In the pool of blood, including him, a total of 4 or 5 experts at the True Spirit Realm had their throats slit and died. Apart from that, there were at least 100 elites and middle echelons of the Cloud Sword clan that had been slain. Everyone in the Sword Firmament Pavilion kept quiet out of fear. Everyone was shocked and looked at the plain-clothed female at the top of the building. The plain-clothed female was pure, and her hair flowed like a waterfall. She slightly tilted her hand, and a sharp, 3-foot sword light appeared. The place where she stood was not even a speck of dust. She was surrounded by an invisible sword will, which seemed to have pierced through the surrounding pavilions, plants, insects, and beasts. This scene seemed to have returned to the time when the number one female genius of the Sword Tao of the 13 sects had once trampled all the geniuses of the 13 sects under her feet. Song Yue, no matter how many people you kill, you won't be able to change the situation of the Cloud area. Fighting against the Iron Dragon Alliance with your puny strength is courting death. On the opposite mountain, an azure-armored male panted with a fierce expression. The spirit rank armor on his body was covered in numerous sword marks and bloodstains, and he was in an extremely sorry state. This azure-armored male's cultivation had reached the late stages of the true mystic rank and was on the same level as Tsang Yue. However, in the battle just now, the azure-armored male and several other experts at the true spirit realm were no match for the plain-clothed female. This Tsang Yue is too terrifying. There are at least 100 experts that have died in her hands. All those that go against her will be killed. Too domineering. The members of the Sword Pavilion all trembled and didn't even dare to breathe loudly. Humph! I, Tsang Yue, will kill my way to the Iron Dragon Alliance's base. Tsang Yue said coldly. After the sacred True Dragon Gathering and the inheritances, Tsang Yue's sword style had become even more domineering, and her killing intent was hundreds of times stronger than before. Thinking back to her experiences in the Seven Sword Inheritance, Tsang Yue still had lingering fear in her heart. If she wasn't strong and ruthless enough, she would have died in the Seven Sword Inheritance a long time ago. She was able to return from the Seven Swords legacy partly because of her potential in sword will, and partly because of her luck. Ha! Aren't you afraid that the wind will cut your tongue? Little bitch, one day I'll strip you naked and ravage you. The green-armored man raised his head and let out a long howl. Tsang Yue's expression went cold as the 3-meter sword light in her hand let out a sharp hiss. Run! The green-armored man's expression changed. A green flame burst forth from his body, and his speed reached a terrifying level. The cultivation method he cultivated was the Wind Ultimacy system, and it had reached the peak of a level. In terms of speed, he was comparable to normal True Lord ranks. It was because of this that he could fight against Tsang Yue and last until now. Die! The 3-meter sword light in Tsang Yue's hand disappeared. Jiang! Subsequently, a dilapidated ancient bronze sword appeared in her hand, and it emitted a ghastly sword will that had accumulated over the years. It was undying, indestructible, and supreme. The cold sword intent seemed to pierce through the physical and mental energy and instantly locked onto the green-armored man. Wang, Song Yue waved her hand, and a thin, cold sword light seemed to extend through the air. Although it seemed slow, it arrived in an instant and had a weird feeling that it could confuse one's mind. Plop! The green-armored man fell from the sky. A streak of blood extended from the top of his head, splitting his entire body into two symmetrical halves. The sword firmament pavilion. The members of the clan all took in a cold breath as they looked at the legendary swordswoman that had returned from the sacred true dragon gathering and the seven sword inheritance. Shua, a beautiful woman in white, suddenly appeared in front of Song Yue like a ghost. Elder Bai. Song Yue bowed respectfully. This beautiful woman in white had a profound aura that was on par with the deputy patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. It was obvious that Song Yue wasn't alone on this trip back to the cloud area. Yu, the growth of your strength after returning from the Seven Sword inheritance is truly a pleasant surprise. Although you're only at the late stages of the true mystic realm, your sword attacks can threaten those of the true lord rank. Elder Bai Chong sighed in praise and gave a very high evaluation. Those that cultivated the Tao of the sword specialized in offense, and Song Yue was a prodigy that had comprehended sword intent and received the Seven Sword inheritance. Unfortunately, compared to Yu Qianhao, Zhao Feng, Xian Wuheng, and company, I'm still far away. Song Yue didn't have any pride on her face. Although her talent was dazzling amongst the younger generation, and she was the #1 genius of the 10,000 Sword Clan. However, compared to the overwhelming prodigies of the sacred True Dragon Gathering, there was a clear gap. You don't need to praise them. In terms of comprehension, you're not much weaker than them. If it wasn't for the fact that you lost at the starting line, you might be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with the overwhelming prodigies of the sacred True Dragon Gathering. Elder Bai Chong consoled with a smile. Song Yue nodded her head faintly. She was confident in her improvement. However, the reason she returned to the Cloud area was to save her clan. In just an instant, the fate of the Cloud Sword clan had been changed by Song Yue. What's the current situation of the 13 clans? I heard that Zhao Feng has returned? Song Yue asked. A while later, Song Yue's expression became solemn. Everyone realized that she was especially concerned about Zhao Feng's situation. The people of the Cloud Sword clan all knew that Song Yue had lost to Zhao Feng in one move back then. Now that she had returned to the Cloud area, maybe the former #1 genius of the 13 clans would challenge her and take back her glory. He defeated 3 true Lord rank palace lords by himself. This Zhao Feng, he's already this strong? The more Song Yue heard, the more shocked she became. Even a white-robed elder at the side had a look of shock on her face. Elder Bai Shang had watched the sacred True Dragon Gathering, and at that time, Zhao Feng was still far from the true Lord rank. He's indeed worthy of being one of the top prodigies of the sacred True Dragon Gathering. Amongst the younger generation of the continent, I'm afraid only Yu Tianhao is capable of rivaling him. Elder Bai Shang couldn't help but sigh. One had to admit that the battle power of the 5 overwhelming prodigies wasn't any weaker than those of the older generation. This was especially so for Yu Qianhao and Zhao Feng, who were known as the overwhelming prodigies kings. However, after the inheritance, Zhao Feng had mysteriously disappeared and hadn't appeared on the stage for several months. No matter how strong he is, I'll definitely challenge him before I leave the Cloud area. Song Yue's eyes were filled with decisiveness, and a strong sword intent appeared. As if being stimulated by Zhao Feng, Song Yue's sword intent seemed to become stronger and stronger. Elder Bai Shang couldn't help but nod her head. The path of the sword required an unyielding will to fight with others in the heavens and earth. The 13 countries of the Cloud area. In just a short month's time, the situation of the 13 clans had changed. Up until now, almost half of the clans had left the Iron Dragon Alliance's control. The source of all this was the Broken Moon clan. Zhao Feng defeated the 3 palace lords and made true Lord Taishao surrender. He even destroyed the blood contract from back then. Before entering seclusion, Zhao Feng had told Lin Tong to lead a group of experts to save the other 2 Moon clans, the Lin Moon clan and the Silver Moon clan. Before leaving the Purple Saint ruins, Zhao Yufei had asked Zhao Feng to take care of the Lin Moon clan. The Broken Moon clan, Lin Moon clan, Silver Moon clan, Cloud Sword clan. These clans all left the Iron Dragon Alliance's control and regained their sovereignty. At this point in time, the elders of the Dragon-Killing Alliance led the elites of the Sky-Rich Seven Sects to the 13 nations. With the Broken Moon clan as the core, the 13 countries became a chaotic area that was no longer controlled by the Iron Dragon Alliance. On one hand, Old Su helped the other sects regain their freedom, and on the other hand, he began to clean up and kill the Iron Dragon Alliance forces in the 13 nations. Everything was going well. Just like what Zhao Feng and Old Su had agreed, the Dragon-Killing Alliance only needed to gather information and clean up the mess. On this day, at the entrance of the Broken Moon clan, a powerful True Lord rank aura descended from the distance and descended on the Sky Moon Mountain. "Who's there?" True Lord Tai Xiao, who was guarding the entrance, was slightly surprised and exclaimed, "True Lord Tai Xiao, how have you been?" A white-bearded elder in azure clothes floated towards the Broken Moon clan. "Old Monster Su, it's you." True Lord Tai Xiao had an ugly expression. Even before the Scarlet Moon religion entered the cloud area, the two strong countries were on opposing sides. "I have important news that I need to tell Zhao Feng and discuss it with him face to face." Old Su's tone was urgent as he entered the main topic. If a normal expert wanted to see Zhao Feng, they wouldn't be able to enter the clan at all. This was only because Old Su was an experienced True Lord rank and the leader of the Dragon-Killing Alliance that he could reach this step. However, True Lord Tai Xiao wasn't so easy to pass. "Don't you know that Zhao Feng's in seclusion and doesn't want to see anyone?" True Lord Tai Xiao's expression was cold. "This news is extremely important to the situation in the cloud area." Old Su's eyebrows were filled with urgency. True Lord Tai Xiao didn't move and only pointed at a palace in the distance. Old Su felt the surging heaven-earth yuan qi in this area, especially in the sky above the palace. There was a whirlpool of wind, thunder, cloud mist. It was a deep azure color, and from time to time, it would cause dark clouds, thunderstorms, and violent gales. Wu, Wang, howl came from air, as if a giant creature was breathing out wind, lightning, and mist. Half a day later, the cloud of wind, thunder, and clouds in his field of vision compressed bit by bit at a speed visible to the naked eye, forming the shape of a vortex, producing green waves of electricity in the surroundings. He's at the last moment. True Lord Tai Xiao watched closely. He had been paying attention to Zhao Feng's situation over the past few days. Is he really trying to break through to the True Lord rank? Old Su had a weird expression. The ripples of wind and lightning in the air contained a chaotic aura that made the chi of true spirit within the two True Lord ranks' bodies tremble uneasily, and their breathing became heavy. Chapter 470. In the air above the palace. The enormous ball of clouds and mist of wind and lightning gradually condensed into the shape of a vortex, and it was surrounded by a layer of azure waves of wind and lightning. Moreover, it produced strands of wind and lightning that were faintly visible to the naked eye. Wang, the whirlpool-shaped ball of wind and lightning spun from slow to fast. As it spun faster and faster, it gave off a muffled and frightening whistle. The primal chi of heaven and earth seemed to resonate, stirring restlessly and resonating with the condensed ball of wind and lightning. The source of this breath came from Zhao Feng, who was in the palace on the mountain, half a mile away. The two True Lord ranks looked at each other with puzzled expressions. At this moment in time, a powerful aura that came from the True Lord rank resonated with the heaven-earth yuan qi. Luckily, Zhao Feng's place of seclusion was in a remote area of the Sky Moon Mountain. However, even then, the members of the Broken Moon clan felt an uneasy pressure. Houm rumble. Dark clouds covered the sky above Heavenly Moon Mountain. Thunder, lightning, wind, and rain crisscrossed, and it seemed like a terrifying storm was brewing, covering an area of several kilometers. This scene was like the power of nature, and it made the entire Broken Moon clan feel heavy, and it was hard to breathe. Within the palace, the youth's blue hair blew in the wind, and his face was dark and bright. Above his head was a dark azure beam of wind and lightning that connected to the whirlpool of wind and lightning above the palace. My mental energy, power, and focus have become one with nature. Xian Wuheng, I didn't think that your intent would be so compatible with the laws of nature that it would help me break through to the true Lord rank. The youth's blue eyes flashed with a strange look of surprise. At this moment in time, Zhao Feng's breakthrough had also reached the final stage. In reality, with Zhao Feng's cultivation, there was no bottleneck for him to break through to the true Lord rank. However, the preparation time to break through to the true Lord rank was much longer than expected. On one hand, Zhao Feng needed to comprehend the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet and refine his source of true spirit. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's powerful cultivation and powerful soul produced incredible effects as he tried to break through. This included Xian Wuheng's merging with heaven and earth intent and the wood spirit essence soul's comprehension of life. Both of them were of great help to Zhao Feng's breakthrough. In his head, the profound intent, domains, and comprehension of power Upanishads were like countless sparks colliding with each other, creating a magnificent flame. Voila! Boom! In the air, the two true Lord ranks had solemn expressions as they looked at the storm in the sky. This thunderstorm could completely destroy Manor. The elders and upper echelon members of the Broken Moon clan had even opened the protective array to defend against this disaster. Open! A shout came from within the palace. Crack! A fist-thick beam of wind and lightning, condensed like an aurora, instantly shattered the gloomy, gray sky. Whoosh! A torrential rain fell, and the dark clouds dispersed, revealing the bright sun outside. The disciples of the Broken Moon clan felt as if they had been in a different world. In that instant just now, there seemed to be an invisible power that controlled the weather, and that destructive aura seemed to be able to destroy the Broken Moon clan at any moment. Rumble! Lightning clouds rolled across heaven and earth, and gusts of wind blew. At the same time, a new true Lord rank aura enveloped a radius of several miles. It was chaotic, yet powerful and condensed. He broke through such a pure and condensed aura. This isn't something that the early stages of the true Lord rank can compare to. The two true Lord ranks were stunned. Unlike other experts breaking through to the true Lord rank, Zhao Feng had saved several years of time by jumping from the initial stage to the early stage true Lord rank. This meant that, now that Zhao Feng had broken through, his cultivation was on par with Old Su and true Lord Taishao. Moreover, Zhao Feng's technique had a profound aura, destructive and tyrannical, but it was also filled with agility and flexibility. It even gave off an aura of endless growth. Just this point alone made the two true Lord ranks unfathomable. Furthermore, Zhao Feng's mental energy level had increased after this breakthrough. In terms of mental energy alone, he had surpassed the late stages of the true Lord rank. Xiao! An arc of lightning that was hard to see with the naked eye flashed across the sky, and a ripple of wind and lightning spread in front of the two true Lord ranks. Immediately following that, Old Su and true Lord Tiexiao's hearts shook as they felt a numbing sensation. The two true Lord ranks couldn't help but take a deep breath as they looked at the blue-haired youth with complicated expressions. After reaching the true Lord rank, Zhao Feng's speed seemed to become one with the wind and lightning nearby. Congratulations, Brother Zhao, on reaching the true Lord rank. You're probably the first person in the past tens of thousands of years to reach the early stages of the true Lord rank from the true mystic realm in one step. Old Su and true Lord Taishao said. Soon, the sound of flying came from the sky as the upper echelon of the Broken Moon clan, including Yang Gan and company, came over to congratulate. The entire sect was brimming with a kind of festive enthusiasm. The birth of a true Lord rank was enough to change the entire situation of the cloud area. In the cloud area, There were only a few true lord ranks who stood at the top of the clouds and could summon the rain and clouds with a flip of their hands. For a small clan like the Broken Moon clan, the birth of a true lord rank was an unimaginable miracle. Even in the canopied Great Country, any true lord rank was an overlord and could affect the situation of a great country. Half the time it took to make tea later. Central Hall of the clan. Zhao Feng, Old Su, Tai Xiao, First Elder, Yang Gan, and a few other upper echelon members gathered together. After exiting seclusion, Zhao Feng understood the situation of the cloud area and the 13 countries. The situation was much smoother than expected. With the Broken Moon clan at the core, more than half of the forces in the 13 countries left the Iron Dragon Alliance's control. The return of the Cloud Sword clan's San Yue was a great help as well. Countless people from the Dragon-Killing Alliance had been killed. However, the biggest influence came from Zhao Feng. With his own strength, he had defeated 3 palace kings, destroyed the blood contract, and defied the heavens with one hand. Zhao Feng's deeds had become a legend that couldn't be replicated. As time passed, Zhao Feng's fame and influence would cover the entire cloud area. Some people even said that Zhao Feng was the #1 person in the cloud area. Old Su, what do you want to discuss with me so urgently? Zhao Feng's gaze turned to Old Su. When he was in seclusion, he had felt Old Su's aura approach. The Iron Dragon Alliance is an enormous force that covers every corner of the cloud area. It's also supported by the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. This isn't a secret. For example, Palace Lord Yulong, Palace Lord Blood Corpse, and some powerful core elders are all from the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. A few days ago, the Dragon-Killing Alliance received some bad news. Old Su's expression and tone became solemn. Bad news? The hearts of those who were basking in the joy of victory jumped. The forces of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion have been appearing at the borders of the 13 countries and the 2 strong countries, including the Iron Dragon Alliance, Old Su said solemnly. Scarlet Moon demonic religion? Was this force that once swept across the continent going to rise again? The hearts of First Elder, Yang Gan, and company were filled with shock. On the other hand, Zhao Feng's expression was calm. He didn't fear or respect the Scarlet Moon demonic religion like before. Old Su, please pay close attention to the Iron Dragon Alliance's movements. From my point of view, the Iron Dragon Alliance won't give up and will launch another attack. Zhao Feng said confidently. You're so sure? Old Su was slightly surprised. The Alliance's scouts had investigated and analyzed the situation before coming to a similar conclusion. Zhao Feng couldn't help but snicker coldly, because Palace Lord Yulong is still in the 13 countries. Once I come out of seclusion, I'll chase after him and kill the others. So, the mark of the god's eye that Zhao Feng had placed on Palace Lord Yulong could still be felt. Through this, Zhao Feng confirmed that Palace Lord Yulong hadn't returned to the Iron Dragon Alliance to recover and was still in the 13 countries. Following this lead, Zhao Feng, whose strength had increased dramatically, would once again chase after Palace Lord Yulong and the other upper echelon members of the Iron Dragon Alliance. After that, Old Su, Zhao Feng, and company discussed how to deal with the Iron Dragon Alliance and the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. True Lord Tai Xiao gave them some core secrets about the Iron Dragon Alliance and the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. An hour later, Zhao Feng walked out of the central hall. He circulated his eye bloodline power and used his god's spiritual eye to clearly sense where Palace Lord Yulong was. It was the same as what Old Su said about the Scarlet Moon demonic religion. Now that I've reached the True Lord rank, I just need to focus on comprehending the Wind Lightning Stone Tablet and the Ice Imperial Spear, and my battle power will increase dramatically. At that time, no one under the Origin Core realm will be my match. Zhao Feng's eyes twinkled. The Wind Lightning Stone Tablet mainly increased the power of his skills and battle power. The Ice Imperial Spear was compatible with his bloodline and could help him research new bloodline techniques. As for Palace Lord Yulong, as long as he didn't sense what Zhao Feng had done to him, the mark of the god, I wouldn't be discovered. This meant that, It was only a matter of time before Zhao Feng chased after Palace Lord Yulong. He could even do it at any time. Just as Zhao Feng was in deep thought, the howl of a sword came from near the Broken Moon clan. The sword intent seemed to be able to pierce through space and reach Zhao Feng. The disciples of the Broken Moon clan only felt their hearts jump. How strong was Zhao Feng's soul? He himself had comprehended the ancient soul path, so he was especially sensitive to this kind of sword essence aura that could permeate the soul. In front of the Broken Moon clan, in the sky above the abyss, a cold man who was as black as ink and a woman in plain clothes who didn't have a speck of dust on them were facing each other. Scarlet demon moon eyes, demonic hell azura. Lin Tong's pupils were completely crimson black, and they warped and contracted while emanating a wisp of blood that was filled with a negative aura, and it formed a blood-colored devilish moon. Wang, a shrinking blood-colored demonic moon, appeared above Tsang Yue's head and gave off a demonic aura that shook one's soul. It projected terrifying scenes that caused the latter's mind to be thrown into chaos. Tsang Yue's eyebrows furrowed as she felt uneasy, but the sword intent around her became colder and more condensed. Transparent, bloody tentacles could be vaguely seen around her. They extended out of the bloody demonic moon and kept penetrating her, as if they were trying to drag her into an endless abyss of hell. Seven Sword Inheritance, Heaven's Absolute Killing Sword. Tsang Yue waved her hand, and a tattered bronze sword that radiated a domineering slaughter sword intent slashed out. Chapter 471. Seven Sword Inheritance, Heaven's Absolute Killing Sword. Hiss. Under the slash of the damaged ancient sword, a gorgeous sword ray that was icy cold like silk seemed to spread out like a rift in the sky, and it seemed to have penetrated through time and space, killing everything in its path and reigning supreme. Bam Bam. The demonic blood moon that Lin Tong had created with his eye bloodline quickly crumbled, and the terrifying scene was destroyed on the mental energy level. In an instant, a murderous and domineering aura of cold sword intent pierced through his body and even cut into his mind. Wah! Lin Tong's body shook, and he spat out a mouthful of blood with a pale face. Seven Sword Inheritance, you actually... Lin Tong's bloodline eyes were stained with blood. Tsang Yue's sword attack had not only destroyed his eye bloodline, it had also gone straight for his eye bloodline. The clash between the two had only lasted for 1 or 2 moves. Lin Tong had already used his strongest eye bloodline, but not only did he not win, his eye bloodline was even injured by Tsang Yue. I lost. Lin Tong was dejected. Back at the 13 clan gathering, he had almost lost to Tsang Yue as well. Today, the two had both improved by leaps and bounds, but the difference between Lin Tong and Tsang Yue was even bigger than before. In terms of cultivation and bloodline, Lin Tong had the advantage. However, Tsang Yue had obtained the essence of the Seven Sword Inheritance, and her sword attacks had reached an unimaginable level. The opponent I'm looking for isn't you. Tsang Yue's voice was faint. Although she hadn't reached the True Lord rank yet, her attacks were unparalleled against those below the True Lord rank. Her sword attacks were even able to threaten some True Lord ranks. Shua! A sharp white light flashed between the cliffs, and a beautiful woman in a white dress appeared. Who was it? Lin Tong's expression changed. The speed of the beautiful woman in white had even exceeded the range of his eye bloodline. Elder Bai, I've come to the Broken Moon clan to challenge Zhao Feng. I hope you won't interfere. Tsang Yue said seriously. The beautiful woman in white smiled. How could she not understand what Tsang Yue was thinking? However, Elder Bai's gaze suddenly shifted to Lin Tong, and his face turned cold. Brat, what relationship do you have with the Scarlet Moon demonic religion? Your skill and eye bloodline are probably related to the Scarlet Moon inheritance. Elder Bai's clear and melodious voice revealed a trace of cold, killing intent. Lin Tong couldn't help but shiver. The mental pressure from Elder Bai was even greater than the 4 palace lords of the Iron Dragon Alliance. The other party's gaze was like an invisible ice-cold sword, piercing through his body and soul. He did not dare to doubt that an expert of this level could kill him with a snap of a finger. Faced with Elder Bai's questioning, Lin Tong's heart sank to the bottom. He was indeed nurtured by the Scarlet Moon demonic religion and was even valued. He was given a chance to enter the Scarlet Moon inheritance. However, the Scarlet Moon demonic sect was the public enemy of the continent. It had offended countless sects and forces when it swept through the continent. Whoosh, whoosh. Right at this moment, True Lord Taishao and Old Su, the two True Lord ranks, rushed out. Who dares to provoke the Broken Moon clan? True Lord Tiexiao's emotionless voice descended from the sky along with his True Lord rank aura. According to the new blood contract, True Lord Taishao had to guard the clan. Two early-stage True Lord ranks. A weird light flashed through Elder Bai's eyes. Even in the sacred lands, True Lord ranks were peak existences. Two True Lord ranks had appeared in this small clan. Of course, Elder Bai only glanced faintly at True Lord Taishao and Old Su. She harumphed coldly as disdain and coldness flashed through her eyes. True Lord Taishao and Old Su's hearts froze as shock appeared on their faces. Elder Bai merely glanced at them, but it was as if an unparalleled sharp sword had pierced through their hearts. Just one glance had shattered their mental state and made the two True Lord ranks unable to look at him. Peak True Lord rank. Old Su and True Lord Taishao exclaimed with shock. The two True Lord ranks instantly took a deep breath as their expressions became solemn, as if they were facing a great enemy. Luckily, Elder Bai didn't seem to put the two True Lord ranks in her eyes and turned back to Lin Tong. Lin Tong's face was pale white, as if he had fallen into an abyss. Instinct told him that this female's strength had probably surpassed the True Lord ranks of the Cloud area. Senior's eyes are like a torch. I was indeed once a member of the Scarlet Moon demonic religion, but I've already left. Lin Tong could only say. As soon as he said this, the gaze of the female in white seemed to turn into a sword. Lin Tong felt a terrifying killing intent pierce through his body, and his back was drenched in cold sweat. It was hard for him to even move. The expressions of Old Su and True Lord Taishao changed dramatically. If this unfathomable Elder Bai wanted to kill Lin Tong, they might not be able to stop her. He, an expert from the 10,000 Sword Clan, has come personally. You've brought light to the Broken Moon clan. A warm and faint laughter descended from the clouds amidst the rumbling of wind and thunder. Chiu, near the mountain gate, a layer of ripples of wind and thunder spread out like water. There was a slight numbness, but there was also the softness of a cool breeze. Shua, a blue-haired youth appeared in the air. In that instant, the surrounding wind froze for a brief moment, and the sound of thunder could be heard. It's you? You're indeed worthy of being one of the two overwhelming prodigies. In just a few months, you've already reached the True Lord rank. A sharp light flashed through Elder Bai's eyes. She instantly recognized the blue-haired youth. When Zhao Feng appeared, the pressure on Lin Tong decreased, and he almost fell down. The two nearby True Lord ranks let out a long breath. Most of the people present, including Lin Tong, felt weird. This Elder Bai knew Zhao Feng. After all, only a small number of people in the Cloud area knew of Zhao Feng's achievements in the sacred True Dragon Gathering. 10,000 Sword Clan? The number one sword clan of the northern continent? Old Su and True Lord Taishao took in a cold breath. The number one sword clan of the northern continent was something that even the experts in the Cloud area had heard of. In the northern continent, the strongest was the Heavenly Yuan clan, one of the 10 great clans. On the other hand, the 10,000 Sword Clan was only weaker than the Heavenly Yuan clan. Its strength was enough to look down on the two strong countries. No wonder this woman doesn't put us in her eyes at all. True Lord Taishao understood. Whether it was in terms of cultivation or clan, the other party's strength far surpassed the two of them. Senior's praise is too much. It's just a bit of luck and hard work. I don't dare to be called an overwhelming prodigy. Zhao Feng was neither too humble nor too arrogant. However, in reality, The white-robed elder before him gave him quite a bit of pressure. In fact, he even felt a faint sense of danger. Her cultivation had reached the peak true lord rank, and she was an expert in the Tao of the sword. Amongst those of the same cultivation, those who cultivated the Tao of the sword were the most lethal. One could imagine that Elder Bai's battle power was at least on par with the deputy patriarch of the Iron Blood religion. This kid's potential is terrifying, and he's advancing at such a godly speed. I wonder what sort of secret is there in the foreign land's inheritance he went to? Elder Bai's eyes twinkled as she stared at Zhao Feng. Back at the sacred True Dragon gathering, Zhao Feng and Zhao Yufei both entered the mysterious unknown inheritance. From the aura of the unknown inheritance, it might even surpass the four great inheritances. At the very least, it had pushed aside the Heaven's legacy inheritance. Not only was Elder Bai interested in this unknown inheritance, but some of the venerables from the Sacred Alliance of the Central Continent were also interested. Elder Bai, I hope you won't interfere with my sparring with Zhao Feng. Song Yue's figure flashed and faced Zhao Feng. Fine. Elder Bai shook her head and watched the battle from the side. Elder Bai knew Song Yue's decision. Even if the current Zhao Feng was stronger than expected, Song Yue would still challenge him. This was the belief of those who cultivated the Tao of the sword. Song Yue, your improvement is indeed not small. If it was before you reached the true lord rank, you might have been able to fight with me, but now, Zhao Feng said regretfully. Not long ago, in one step, he had reached the early stage true lord rank from the true mystic rank. This increase in cultivation was huge. Elder Bai and Song Yue both had solemn expressions. Before Song Yue issued the challenge, she knew that Zhao Feng's cultivation was still at the true mystic rank. However, when they arrived at the Broken Moon clan, Zhao Feng had already reached the true lord rank and had even reached the early stage true lord rank in one step. Zhao Feng, don't brag too early. I've even killed a true lord rank genius in the seven sword inheritance. Song Yue's eyes flashed with a cold sword intent. The invisible aura of the sword intent penetrated the physical space, causing a terrifying impact on the minds of the experts present. Old Su and true Lord Taishao felt their hearts shake and felt a piercing pain when they looked into Song Yue's eyes. In that instant, Song Yue seemed to become the incarnation of the sword, and the tattered ancient bronze sword in her hand hummed, as if a terrifying power was about to awaken. Shua! Before the attack had even been unleashed, Song Yue's sword intent had already slashed out, giving off a cold aura and a domineering, killing intent. Zhao Feng's god spiritual eye could see a broken blade of ice in the soul dimension. It pierced through the physical world and slashed through the ghosts. Such a powerful sword intent instantly slashed toward Zhao Feng, and it was almost impossible for the body to dodge an attack on the soul. I soul charge. Zhao Feng's left eye flashed coldly and shot out a transparent beam of light that blocked Song Yue's sword intent attack with a schwa. Blocked the sword intent attack. Song Yue and Elder Bai's expressions changed dramatically. How did she do this? The speed of a sword intent attack was much faster than a normal mental attack. Furthermore, Song Yue attacked first. Elder Bai's heart shook and found this hard to accept. Once an expert of the Tao of the sword condensed their sword intent, they could slay ghosts and gods and counter mental energy attacks to a certain degree. See, Song Yue retreated. Her sword intent attack was not only blocked by Zhao Feng, it was also countered by condensed coldness. Song Yue's body instantly froze and her consciousness slowed down. Luckily, her sword intent had become stronger after going through the seven sword inheritance and was able to quickly destroy the coldness that was invading her soul. Probably only a monster like him can use an eye bloodline to block a sword intent attack so easily. Lin Tong suppressed the shock in his heart. He could see that Zhao Feng was able to block the attack easily, and it was hard to estimate what kind of a bloodline Zhao Feng had. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.